And a welcome here to WakeUpCall with Dan Tortora, on site, on location. We are here inside of the event center at Binghamton University because why usher in a Bearcat campaign in 2025-26 from anywhere else than right here on site, on location? We have a jam-packed show here for you today, and we will be obviously welcoming Mr. Marshall here, the Athletics Director at Binghamton University, followed by representatives from men's and women's soccer and volleyball as they've all kicked off their season, and we go into this 2025-26 in what I'm calling the Bearcat Takeover. Happy to be with you in the Great Lakes Honda City Studios. Gene, how are you?
Good. Thanks for coming down. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. And I thought about it. I was like, if we're going to bring in 2025-26, under promise, over deliver, right? Because we always talk on Tuesdays, but I figured why not say welcome back to the students, student athletes, coaches, staff, and administration from right here at the event center. And you have a great center here, so why not showcase it?
Well, it is great, and we're kicking off a new year, 2025, 2026, and you can hear basketball in the background working out. And the women will work out at noon, and volleyball will then come in at 3, and in between that you have track and lacrosse and all the soccers. So we're rocking and rolling.
And like you and I were talking about off the air, it's not even sometimes welcoming the students back because, like you said, some of them are always here.
They never left. I mean, we had a group in the summer. We had wrestling, basketball. They were here this summer, and then we have clinics and camps where the student athletes come and work. Yeah. So they're here, and it's great. So it's a year-round activity, and I think that they benefit from it, and we benefit from it.
Yeah, and like you said, I mean, the year-round student athlete, right? You got to train, you have to be ready and prepared, and you have to be willing to do more than what's set in front of you because that's what separates the great from the good.
I do get nervous that we specialize too much. Young people growing up, that they don't get to. When I grew up, we played basketball, we played football, ran cross country, then we played basketball, or you wrestled, and then you played baseball or you ran track. So you had different muscles. You stayed in shape, but you had different muscles. Now it's one sport, 12 months a year, and I do believe that the injuries that have been coming up are over use of muscles and ligaments and that kind of thing. So I do get worried about that quite a bit.
How do you respond to that concern when, like you said, instead of playing different sports and using different muscles, when you're just kind of working the same thing over and over and over again, and you have that concern, which is totally understandable, how do you, with your strength and conditioning crew here, try to monitor as well as adjust to today's student athlete and what's expected?
Well, one of the things we did this spring is that I got with every head coach, our strength and conditioning folks, our athletic trainers, sports supervisors, and our head of really sports medicine. And we sat down and got the coaches to come up with a plan of attack, what they wanted to accomplish during the 25-26 season.
Yeah.
And in that, how the spring would look, how the summer would look, rolling into the fall. And it wouldn't be the strength coaches making up the plan. It would be the head coaches laying out what their theme for this year is going to be, and then the coaches, and then the strength coaches piggyback on that. So this is our first year doing this, and we'll now see how this plays out. But this is a way of trying to not only have them come in shape, but have the right muscles and the right things in shape to make it happen. So that's kind of what we're trying to work on now. We need them to be ready. We also need them to get some rest and understand how it balances. Sometimes, you just have some downtime, and what that looks like.
Yeah.
So we're going to see how it works this year, make some adjustments, try to see when, you can get some workouts in that are not heavy duty but just maintenance, and then get into the stuff that you need to get into.
Yeah, because I mean, the go-getters, right? The people that want it more than anybody else, they'll put themselves in a situation where they don't want to stop. You know, and I've heard about that before, like where they literally have to tell a player, you can work out 6 days in the gym, but you can't work out on the seventh day. Like you got to take a break.
And I think we may get to that. So I think, as we're trying to look at these injuries, especially on the women's side, where there's a lot of ACLs and those type of injuries, and so we're looking at it and we'll try to see how we can best combat it. But I think a lot of it starts off when the kids are young. They don't play the other sports anymore. They just play one sport, and then they play it forever, and they either get burnt out, or their ligaments and everything else starts to wear out. So I think that's something we got to look at, and I think, at some point, as the young men and women are growing up, let them play something else, so they can, enjoy life first of all, use other muscles second of all, and then have a well-balanced experience. I didn't know that by playing all the sports, from baseball to wrestling to gymnastics to bowling, that it would fast forward prepare me to be an athletic director. I didn't know that, but because I was involved in all those sports, I know the fundamentals. I was taught the fundamentals.
And it's helpful. And, back in the day I played basketball and a little bit of baseball, but I always tell my parents back then soccer wasn't talked about as much.
Right.
But I was like, being a 5'8" basketball player, I can shoot, but I'm not tall. But at 5'8" at soccer, could have been a phenom.
Right. You're all over the place. Yeah.
So Gene Marshall here with me, the athletics director at Binghamton University. We are on campus to welcome you all back for the 2025-26 campaign in this Bearcat takeover of Wake Up Call inside the Travel Great Lakes Honda City Studios. Gene, a lot of great news has come up. We had an anonymous $22 million donor. Love for you to give your thoughts on what that means for the future of athletics.
Well, first of all, a heartfelt thanks to the anonymous donor and his family for this gracious gift. And then thanks to the state of New York and the chancellor and the governor for their match of 50%, which was $11 million. So it becomes 33.6. 40 scholarships that will kind of make our we'll have maybe roughly 10 of the 21 sports fully funded, but we'll leave enough room for them to, if they still have some academic aid out there, that we won't go over the cap number, because since we did not opt in, we opted out, we have to stay within the cap number. So that is extremely important for us. So, and then the other teams, we've been able to plus them up a little bit so that they will be closer to the maximum number, which will make them more competitive. So it should not change the philosophy of our coaches to go out and get the best and the brightest. It will just give them some more scholarships to pursue it, so where they would kind of get a little frustrated, and understandably so, that I don't have enough scholarship money. Now they'll have a little bit more. And unlike basketball, most of our other programs kind of mix and match.
Yeah.
Because they don't have to have, basketball has to have fully funded, full scholarship. You give one person the whole thing. The other sports you can kind of mix and match. Yeah. So I think for our key sports, like our baseball, softball, soccer's, lacrosse's, volleyball, it's going to give them to keep being at the top.
Yeah.
And then our other programs, swimming is going to help immensely, especially men's swimming, to keep them in championship level while helping out the women's swim team. Track and field is going to plus them up on both the men's and the women's side so they can continue to be competitive. So, and it'll even touch golf, tennis. So, I think this is really putting us in a position to continue to be successful, allowing our coaches to go out and recruit the best and the brightest, because they have to go out and recruit quasi-Ivy League, Patriot League type student athletes academically that can compete in America East. And I think we've been able to do that, but now we got a little bit more help.
When you look at that, I mean, like you said, deciding to opt out of the house settlement, which gives you that 20 and a half that a school has to come up with, $20.5 million minimum, or up to that maximum, I should say, and then it can get larger and larger as time goes by. But you don't have to spend the 20 and a half, but you have to, spend something. When you opted out of that and you decided to do that, it also kept you away from roster limits and all of that. So why did Binghamton ultimately decide it was the right reason?
Well, number one, we're not going to be at the $20.5 million limit unless you give us 20.5, which I know you can. But the roster limits, okay, we're not there yet. And I don't feel that I want our coaches and student athletes to have to choose. It's like choosing which kid is better than the other.
Yeah.
We're not there yet. And I wanted to make sure that we had enough scholarships. Everybody's talking about roster sizes. But last I checked, in order to be on a roster, you have to have your position on the roster fully funded or halfway funded or some kind of funds. So if you don't have enough funds, no matter what the roster size says,
you're supposed to get there. Yeah.
Right. And I don't want to fill it with walk-ons if we don't have to. So we weren't ready for that. We have been working on this agreement. President Stinger done a great job of working to help to get this deal done. Can't say enough about his leadership and what he has done to help us get to this point. But it just wasn't smart for Binghamton University, Bearcat Athletics to opt in at this time. We'll see what the future holds. But my thing is we got to take care of our student athletes first.
Yeah.
Put them in a position to be successful. And go on the roster limits and roster sizes at this particular time is not going to put them in that. And I think it's the wise move, because also the NCAA and all these NIL stuff are changing by the second.
Yeah.
So you go in thinking one thing, something else happens, and before you know it, the rules change. Let us see what everything shakes out. By the time we have to decide, we will see what's in front of us.
Yeah.
And we can be proactive instead of reactive.
Well, you're taking the time. That's in today's day and age, the microwave society, a minute's too long. And the reality for Binghamton is that, and I take this approach as well, is let me see what this new thing that has no parameters, it's trying to get parameters, it's trying to get the wild horses around the inside of a fence, but right now there is no fence built. Let's build the fence. Let's see if the fence is sturdy. Then let's make a decision. I think it also benefits, too, that Binghamton does not have football, so there isn't like this massive pull in one direction without really taking the time to make a decision.
It's like now, I'm a jogger, so I jog every day. And now that I'm a little bit older, I jog slower. But I'm going to get there.
Yeah.
So we're going to jog slow and get there instead of run and go nowhere. So what we're trying to do right now is set the conditions for the student athletes to be successful. In the last 3 to 5 years, we have had over $110 to $20 million of facility renovations and new facilities. Okay?
Yeah.
Now we add this scholarship opportunity. We also announced this week, as part of the renovation and stuff, we $5.6 million renovation of the outdoor track.
Yeah.
Okay? So that is going to make our track team able to have home meets, which they could not have for many years.
Yeah.
So that's going to provide opportunities. It's also going to provide the community with some high schools and track meets that they can have there. We also, there's a running course on the preserve around here. We had that redone for our cross country and distance people. Next year, after 2026 May, after graduation, the event center is going to be renovated. $10 million project, which is going to give us new bleachers, new basketball court, new indoor track, and new synthetic surface. So hopefully that'll be done by December of 2026. So we need to do these things for our student athletes first. Then we can look at, what opt in, opt out. We want to make sure that the scholarship allotment is okay.
Yeah.
So now we're taking care of student athletes instead of doing all the other stuff, and then something's got to give.
Yeah, and I think everything that I love, I talk about this event center all the time, so to be doing a $10 million renovation when I already think that it's great, I respect you a lot for that. You brought up the $5.6 million renovation and everything you're doing with track, which I love, and that's been on my mind as well. And you also mentioned everything that President Stenger has been to Binghamton University. We have the announcement of the future president as well. Mm-hmm. So just what you can say of the president and the president obviously that's coming in, because that's another transition, and you want to appreciate all the work that Harvey's done, as well as welcome in our new face of this Binghamton University.
Well, before that, I want to thank Ty Muse from Visions for this project of the outdoor track.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have happened without his vision and his support, not only from the academic side with the Vision Center, the Academic Support Center, but also the track and how that's going to help us in the community. So shout out to him. President Stenger is an AD's president, and I don't say that because he just does everything that the AD says. No, the visions align, and he takes the time to understand. He also served on the NCAA President's Council, so his voice was heard, and he led the conference on that council. So he was a president that understood the NCAA, understood where it was going, tried to support mid-majors when he could, but also tried to position us to be successful, and also position us where we could talk to the faculty, talk to the deans, my colleagues on the senior officers group, understand that we don't just want to win games. We want our student athletes to do well in the classroom.
Yeah.
And also do over 23 hours of community service a year. So he understood that, embraced that, and has supported that, and has worked to provide resources because he wanted to see a winning athletic program. And we were able to do that for him during his last couple years here, that we were able to put it together, give him 2 commissioners' cups, and last year we had a 3rd place finish. So we were in the top 3. So you can't beat that, but for what he's done for Binghamton University outside of athletics is amazing. It's a different place than when he came, and he's leaving it in a better place than when he found it. Not that it was broken, but just what he's done. and Dr. D'Oliva is going to be a big plus to us. Be able to kind of pick up where President Stinger left off, but she's going to have her own twist. She has her own experience coming from the University of Connecticut, understanding the academic profile of a state institution that has high academic aspirations, understanding what big-time athletics looks like, and I look forward to seeing what she envisions Bearcat athletics to look like. So, it's a great time to be a Bearcat.
Yeah, and as we look at this, and I appreciate everything that you've had to say this morning about, the well-rounded kind of message here for Binghamton University. I tell people this all the time, growing up in Syracuse, an hour away, Binghamton to me, and I have been all over the country. I've seen different facilities. I've seen D1, D2, D3. There is, in my opinion, a sleeping giant in Binghamton, and I say sleeping giant because these facilities are absolutely incredible. And you look at, if it was just baseball and softball, if it was just what you're doing with the event center, if it was just what you're doing with track, but you're doing all of these things. But when I say sleeping giant, what I'm saying by this is there is this giant that's growing that maybe people don't know about, but it's waking up. It's won a bunch of championships in this past spring. It's having all this momentum, and as this giant kind of stretches out, waking up in the morning, I just want people to fully understand that this is a big giant with a big wingspan, and they're definitely stretching out, and you're reaching a lot of people. You have a lot of generosity that's coming in. You have a lot of care, and you have a quality of student athlete that you don't always see anymore when it comes to what the focus is on when it comes to being a student athlete in a college or university. So to me, what Binghamton is and what Binghamton is becoming, it's something beautiful, and somehow, some way, the light is shining a little bit brighter.
Well, I think part of that is, and you're 100% right, is the fact that there's still old school values that you need to have. Hiring CEOs to be ADs. I've been a CEO for 30-something years as an AD. That's never changed. But the difference is I have touch with student athletes. Okay? The more you hire folks that are not from this environment, the disconnect you have between the athlete and the coach and the administration. Yes, we have to raise money. I have to raise money. Yes, I have to talk to legislators and faculty and donors. I have to do all that. But the one thing is, I haven't lost common touch with the student athlete. And I think that with this NIL, with all this stuff, we are segregating ourselves from the main mission, which is to mentor our student athletes to go on to do greater things when they graduate. We're now spending our time raising money to take care of the here and now. We're not spending money to take care of their future. Binghamton is doing that with all the things that we try to do on the academic side, the athletic side, and the community side. So I still meet with these student athletes 3 times a semester in 3 different groups. The SAC group, the student athlete leadership group, and the student athletes of color. So I get a chance to hear what they have and some of their concerns, and they get a chance to hear what my concerns are and what I foresee. And if there are some things that I can help them with, we're in touch. I think with all this going out and hiring CEOs and all this and focusing on raising all this money to help a small segment of the population, we're forgetting a whole large segment of the population who, if you look at records, the non-revenue sports give the most money as alumni than the revenue sports. So we are now taking our focus off of them
Yeah.
and only focusing on this small group. That's a problem long term.
Yeah.
But again, we're in this microwave society. We're only dealing with stuff that happens today. We're not looking at the future anymore. And one thing I can say about Binghamton University is they look at the past to make us better in the present and the future. And we always keep our eye on the future.
You know, you and I have had a lot of conversations, and the first conversation we ever had to speak to Binghamton University is when I came down here and said, you know, Gene, I've wanted to work with Binghamton for many years. And we spent about 20 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, talking about the actual plan. We spent an hour talking about who you are as a person, who I am, and if we align. Mm-hmm. It's always about the people. Mm-hmm. And people forget in a transactional society that relationships are the ones that sustain a bright and positive future.
Yep.
What can you say to being a relationship person? Because that's what I saw from you from the beginning was, hey, give me a chance, let's sit down and let's talk. And you and I talked about who you are as a man, who I am as a man, as opposed to all the stuff that people talk about in the transactional world.
Well, I think a great example is, you know, in Facebook, X, and even LinkedIn with my former players 40 years ago, 30 years ago, their kids have birthdays and I'm able to say happy birthday.
Yeah.
Or their kids have a athletic success or an academic success and I'm able to say congratulations. Or they're able to say congratulations to my kids or an accomplishment that we've had at Binghamton or my other stops. That's what this is about. I take great pride in my former student athletes that I've either coached or supervised in their success. When they get a new job and it comes across my feed, I want to congratulate them. I take great pride in that. That's what this is all about. Yes, I want to win championships more than anybody. I'm very competitive. I want to make sure that the student athletes have everything that they deserve and that they need to be successful. But I also take great pride in what they do outside of here and what their success is like. That's what this is about. But we're losing sight of that because we're cutting off our nose to spite our face, chasing the dollar. That's what we're doing. And, you know, at this stage in my career, I can say these things because, you know, I'm happy. So I'm not looking to do anything else. So if people are unhappy with what I say, that's okay. But I think what I take great pride in is the success. Former coaches that have worked under me or that I've mentored that do success. That's what this is about. It's about other people. It's not about me. It's about the other people. You know, and I think that's what we need to see. And that's what we need to be able to do. Because I want this generation to take care of that generation. One of my former players is an AAU coach, and she does an excellent job with them. Her daughter plays for her, and I love it. That's what I'm happy about. Yeah. You know, that's what gives me joy. Another one of my players' one son's in college playing baseball, another one's getting ready to go to college. That's what it's all about. You know, so we're losing sight of that.
Well, I can say that when it comes to you, Gene, you are on there is not a Binghamton post that I put out that you are not only on, but that I mean, it's like you always support, you're always there. It doesn't matter what time. I know I'm up at midnight, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, putting all this stuff out, and I'm like, oh, Gene's up too.
I'm not up. Sometimes what I do is I roll over, get up, and then I'll look, and then I'll go back to bed. So I always, that's just part of my routine. And I just think it's something that we do. Yeah. And this is a family business. My kids grew up in this athletic business. Yeah. So, matter of fact, my oldest son is now on the staff here on the women's staff. Yeah. He was here before. And he's the one that told me how great this place was when he was here previously. That's why I gave it a look. Zion was a former student athlete for me at Ramapo. Played soccer. Watched his career grow. Yeah. Isabella Martello, her father was a heck of a soccer player at Ramapo for me almost 30-something years ago. He was one of the best. He could have been a Division I soccer player. That's how good he was. He's a humble guy. You'll see him around watching his daughter play, but he never says, that's what I take great pride in, to see Isabella here as part of his legacy. That's what this business is about.
It's about the connections. It's about the people. It's about building together, and remember that we is a lot better than me.
Yes.
And that's how you leave. I'm a true believer that you can leave a legacy in how you help others that sends a ripple effect, or you can just help yourself, and when you die, you take it with you, and it's like you weren't even here.
That's it.
So make sure you help people, make sure you're good to people, and make sure you come down here and support the Binghamton University Bearcats. A ton of great student athletes, students, administration, staff, coaches. We thank you all. And President Stenger, thank you for everything that you have done. I want to honor that, and it was good to talk with you within these past couple of years, and it's always good to talk with this gentleman. Thank you, Gene, as always.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
I'll talk with you soon.
Go Bearcats.
And we'll be back right after this on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Stay tuned.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hi, this is
here's the star.
How
you doing?
We're open daily 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. For takeout orders, call 315-432-0942 and tune in to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora for our monthly food challenge and try our Wake Up Call signature menu item available 7 days a week. Here at Mother's Cupboard, we are Central New York, and it's our honor to serve you.
Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory remind us that every day is worth celebrating at 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York. Open Monday through Saturday in-store and always online at maandpaspopcorn.com. Serving our Central New York community and beyond, order anywhere, anytime at maandpaspopcorn.com. Stop in to get a tin at Ma and Pa's on 201 7th North Street in Liverpool, New York to get your half-price refills for the rest of your life. Come to Ma and Pa's for your holiday gift giving for family, friends, employees, and clients. And remember, for fundraising and events, to call 315-450-6272. That's 315-450-6272. Ma and Pa's Kettle Corn and Popcorn Factory. How corny are you?
This is Jim Sikowski, owner-operator of Chick-fil-A Cicero, 7916 Brewerton Road in Cicero, right in front of the Home Depot. I had a deep feeling that God wanted me to do something bigger with my life and to help people, help others. You kept putting Chick-fil-A, and I realized as I was going through the franchise selection process, we bring in local produce, we prepare to order in the kitchen, we hand bread our chicken, we hand spin our milkshakes. It's great food. It doesn't taste like fast food. I think the second thing is the way people feel when they come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant is different. We try to treat people with intentional kindness here, which is very different and deeper than good customer service. And so I think it feels remarkable for most people to come in a Chick-fil-A restaurant. And then lastly, the impact that we try to have in the community is very different. It's a big part of the expectation of every operator of a Chick-fil-A restaurant is that they're actively engaged in their community, they're a leader in the community, and they're making a difference. When they realize that what we're striving to do is to shine a little light in their life, that's a very, very different experience than you will have in any other quick service restaurant. And it's that remarkable experience that I think people will emotionally connect with.
And a welcome back here from Binghamton University. Happy to be here with you as Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is on site, on location. And we have plenty of guests that are coming in here today. And we want to thank Gene Marshall for being a part of the show, as he was just Binghamton Athletics Director. And Anna Buckwalter here of the Binghamton.
And my dad actually owns an excavating company
Okay.
right next door. So there's a lot going on, but not a lot of people. So
But
great.
not a lot of people.
Yes.
So how have you kind of experienced life? I mean, it's different, right? Because you've been with the land, you've been with the animals, you maybe have more of an appreciation for the things in life that people just drive right by.
Exactly. To me, Binghamton's like the city.
Okay.
So coming here, I'm like, holy crap, there's so many people. But I've gotten used to it. I'd say that obviously I appreciate like being open more to different areas, but also it's nice because like I get a different aspect to where I am used to at home, but it's also nice going back home where I'm like, okay, this is more relaxing, but here I love it because there's always something to do.
So you said Binghamton to you is the city.
Yes,
So
it
have
is.
you-
And
have-
everyone's like, no, it's not, all this stuff. So.
Have you been to New York City?
No, I've never.
That will make
I
you
know.
feel like you're on a different planet.
That's what everyone keeps saying.
So there's New York and there's New York City.
Yes, I
There's-
hear it's very different.
There's
So-
manageable crazy, which is upstate New York, and then there's absolutely like Walking Dead insane
Yep.
New York City.
Yep.
So
I can only imagine.
do you want to at least visit once?
I think once,
Okay.
but I don't know. I'm gonna have to go with my friends because they want to take me, and
Fair
they
enough.
think it's crazy. I've never been there, so a lot of them live near there. So
Yeah.
they told me during Christmas time.
So how far
see you
away is home for you?
Home is like almost 3 hours. It's 2 hours and 45 minutes. So
Okay.
not terrible, but.
So why Binghamton? How'd you find out about Binghamton University?
So Neil, my coach, actually came to watch one of my practices after seeing me and my team at a showcase. And so I wasn't really interested in going north. I was more leaning towards south because of the warm. But he came to a practice. I talked to him a little bit afterwards, and then we were just texting back and forth, and he was like, let's get you on a visit. And Binghamton was actually my first visit. So I came here and I fell in love right away. All the girls were awesome, and I was like, Mom, I don't want to go on any more visits. Like, I'm ready to commit. And my mom's like, no, you have to be open about this. And I was like, okay, I will. And so I went on another visit, and I just, right when I got there, I was like, this is not the same at all. And I just kept thinking about Binghamton, and I was like, well, that says a lot about this school. So I was texting with Neil, and he was like, just take your time, make sure that you're making the right choice, which I really appreciated, because other schools were like, we need this and that, and you need to be committed by this time, and it was just like, I'm so stressed out. But Neil was very understanding, and I came back on campus and just felt like home. So, and all the girls, not only were they talking to me when I was here, but they were also reaching out over the phone and just saying what a great time they had with me, which I felt very appreciated. So yeah, and then I committed December. So I was the first one to commit here, which was also a little nerve-wracking knowing like I'm the first one, but then other girls started committing, and it was great.
So you are the torchbearer of your class.
Yep.
What do you think of that?
I think it's awesome. I got to see everyone else committing and then reach out to them, so it was super cool.
Did you try to be an extension of your head coach and the staff, head coach Neil Bhattacharjee? Did you try to kind of reach out to some people on social media and say, hey, it's a great place?
Absolutely, yeah. I know a lot of younger girls on for my club. I put in such a great word for this school and the program, but I know a lot of girls are looking to play in college along with my sister. So she knows how it is here, and some other girls in my club team, they know that it's a great school.
Your sister is, when would she be coming to college?
She is 14, so she would be coming. She graduates 2028. So 2029.
So you're already starting with her.
Yeah, I told
Okay.
her, I was like, this is the place to be, but
Fair enough.
she loves it.
So, the Buckwalter name for you, when you have that name that you carry with you wherever you go, what can you say about representing your family and then representing the B? So both, having one on the back, one on the front.
My family is the most important thing to me, and they've done so much to get me to this school and just throughout my whole life with soccer. And my sister's also supporting me throughout the whole way here and like giving up so much so that I can be successful. They're my bestest friends as well as everyone else on this team. So just being able to play for not only my family, but also the school, my friends, my roommates, the coaches too. It's just an overwhelming feeling, and it's awesome.
Well, I'm happy, and I love the positive energy too.
Yes.
Like getting that. Have you always been right? You're
Yes.
smiling. I don't think you've stopped smiling.
I love it here. Yep.
Okay.
I'm having the best time, and
Okay.
it's great.
So Neil Bhattacharjee, first and foremost, can you spell his name?
I honestly, no. It's
I'm
in my
gonna-
phone, spelled correctly, so that's the only reason.
So check your phone right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna do it. Okay?
All right.
Because I pride myself on being able to spell last names.
Okay.
So you're gonna pull it up? All right. I'm
Yes.
not gonna look.
All right. I'm ready.
Bhattacharjee.
Yes.
There it is.
I couldn't do any better, so sorry, Neil.
How long did it take you to say his name correctly?
I actually came in my freshman year not knowing how to say his name.
So you committed.
So I was just
came
like,
on
yeah,
campus.
Neil.
You're like, Coach
And then
Neil.
our very first meeting, he said his last name, and I was like, Bhattacharjee.
Yeah. So do you say Coach Bhattacharjee, or do you say Coach B, or do you say Coach Neil?
Coach Neil.
Coach Neil.
Yep.
Okay.
Always Neil.
Fair enough. I love my conversations with him
Mm-hmm.
because he is such a caring, devoted person.
Yes, he's awesome.
What can you say about his leadership style and how it speaks to you?
Not only this year, especially, our team dynamic is so awesome, but we have 9 freshmen, so just making sure that they feel as comfortable and as open to getting to know everyone on the team and knowing that they all play a role, but also knowing that we have a certain standard for every single one of our players, and that the culture needs to be at where it is at all times. Neil does a great job really emphasizing that, and I think he also has a good balance between being a very serious coach when he needs to, and also knowing that girls should be comfortable and knowing that they can go to him whenever they need.
So when you go to him and it's non-soccer related, how comfortable do you feel in being able to just talk with your coach about anything that's going on in life? Because you are experiencing the college world, not just being an athlete.
Very. At the end of the day, he's always there no matter what you need for him, but also he is a girl dad, so I think he has a certain aspect on the girls on this team that other coaches might not have. So knowing that you can go to your coach no matter what it is and he'll support you every step of the way is very important for this team, and I think it also goes along with the culture and just the overall comfortableness of this team.
So having that comfortability that you have with the team, I'm going to ask you to put some of your teammates on the spot here. So who would you consider to be on the current roster? Who is the class clown? Who's the one that can like always get you to laugh?
Probably Sam Allen or Alexis Worrell.
Okay.
Every time I'm with them, I'm nonstop laughing. So, and they're actually in my class. So I experience it at home, in the locker room. They just bring a sense of silliness, even in the most serious moments.
Okay.
And it's awesome because you just feel like you could be so stressed out about a day and you could be having the worst day, and you can just look at them and be like, all right, like, you're still making me laugh, you're still making me smile.
The day's going to be okay.
Yeah, it's awesome. But
Who is the most serious, like who is the mother of the team, so to speak?
oh boy. I would say Allison Falvo. She
Okay.
definitely the mom, definitely the most mature, and she keeps it real for us.
Okay, definitely the mom and the
Yep.
most mature. If you had to get someone to talk you out of a parking ticket,
Oh.
since we know that parking is
Okay.
difficult on campus
Okay.
sometimes,
Yeah.
who would you pick to talk you out of it?
Probably Maddie O'Sullivan.
Okay.
She's so good with her words, and I feel like she can get out of anything.
Okay.
And she's so bubbly too. I feel like they would just be like, okay, yeah.
Who's
Sure.
the one that you think would get you into a ticket?
Oh gosh. I don't probably Bella Brown.
Okay.
Yeah. I think her. Because she'd be like, just park there. And she's from Philly. So
Yeah, okay.
me and her are from Pennsylvania. We're the only ones. So probably Bella.
Has she talked about you or talked about Philly with you? Has
Oh,
she?
yeah.
Okay.
Crazy. But not as crazy as New York City.
So, Bella, when you're watching this, if you're watching it now, I want to know the cheesesteak place because they say to never go to whatever it is, Gino and Tony's, like the ones that everybody talks about. I've heard two multiple times. I've heard Max's and Ish Kabibbles. I've been to Max's and I like Max's.
Okay.
So have you been to Philly?
No.
Okay.
Well, yes, I have been to Philly. Not any cheesesteak places, though. Near me, there's a place called Gazzo's.
Okay.
That's really good, but not in Philly. Nope.
Okay. All right, but I want to know her thoughts on
Okay.
that.
Awesome.
We're going to play rapid fire in a second where you and I can put each other on the hot seat on any topic. But before we go there, I want to know why soccer.
So I started soccer when I was 4. My dad
Do you
played.
remember?
Yes,
You do?
I do actually. Well, part of it. But I played for a small club that was literally right down the road. There was a bunch of fields, and it was every Friday night. We would have like 3 or 4 games, and my coach was actually the dad of a girl who I played with for 13 years of my life. So her dad coached our team when I was 4, and it was awesome. Me and her, she was on my club team all the way up to my senior year of high school. So 4 all the way up until I was about 17. And her dad was our coach, but I mostly started soccer because of my parents, but also I did gymnastics, and I'm not very flexible, so I did horseback riding,
Okay.
which is pretty common in my area considering.
Yeah.
But yeah, soccer was the number 1 for me.
Soccer, like scoring. So for you, well, I mean, so when you came up, like you said, from 4 years old to now, what positions have you played, or have you always played the same position?
So I played goalie. I played center back for like 4 years.
Okay.
And then I started playing defensive center mid, so the 6. And then I played center mid. And ever since then, I've been playing center mid.
You've been
So
playing
kind of
center
all
mid.
over
Okay.
the place, a little bit of outside back. But my favorite one has definitely been center mid.
Scoring or defending, what would you prefer?
Definitely scoring.
Okay.
100 all the way scoring.
So, what is more difficult to do? Score a goal in college or ride a horse?
Oh, scoring in college, 1,000%. Unless you're like in the Olympics for horseback riding, but just like trotting around on a horse, anyone can do that.
Okay, fair enough. Do you remember the first time you got on a horse?
Yes, I actually fell off.
You fell off.
So, yep, I
it
got
makes me think
on.
of the. So, do you know Full House?
Yes,
And the Olsen
I do.
twins in the episode where Michelle falls off the horse,
Yeah,
and they
yep,
think she's not gonna
that's-
ever remember.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
That was
Whenever
me.
someone says fall off a horse, I think of that, and I think of Christopher Reeve, who played Superman.
Oh. No, I fell off, and then I was determined, so I got back on,
Okay.
and then loved it. So, and then I did end up falling off again, but that was when I started like doing the jumps with the horse and everything like that. So.
We live in a world where some people run away from adversity. They're afraid of it. There's the notion of when you fall off the horse, get back on, and it's a statement people say, but you've literally
Yep.
fallen off a horse and gotten
Exactly.
back on. Why, figuratively and literally, will you not give up when it comes to anything?
Honestly, I love when people tell me that I can't do something or like have doubt in me, because then it just feeds my motivation even more. But I feel like I'm a very determined person, and I have very high expectations for myself and high standards. And when I don't meet those, I just end up working even harder. So I think falling off the horse, I was obviously upset, but in that moment I was more of just like angry and just used it as motivation to get back on. And I was obviously younger, but I think that also goes in today, where if something doesn't go my way, or someone doubts me, or if I even doubt myself, that it just fuels my fire even more. And at the end of the day, it encourages me to do better. So
I love it. I absolutely love that. Love that. That's like when people say, my fuel is all this positive energy, all this good stuff. It's like, no, my fuel is the positive energy, the negative energy.
Yep, all of the above.
That means your car will always be having enough fuel to drive.
Yep.
That's the beauty of it.
It's actually funny because I'm known to let my car go almost down to E.
So you never go down to E, but you let your car go to E.
Yes, that is true.
Well, I will let you know this. And I also let my car doesn't say anything, because you have to look. So that my car will just, like, when it's low, it'll ding, but I don't really look at it as it's going.
So you're like, shoot, I have to get gas
I'm like,
now.
okay, because it turns orange. It turns from white to orange, and it lets me know, like, you got. So I've let it go down to 10 miles before.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, okay, I'm not that bad, but maybe like 30.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm worse at that.
Yeah.
That's fine. Let's play some rapid fire.
Okay.
You can ask me any topic, any question.
All right.
We're only live to the world, so it's fine.
Have you played?
I have played football, like I played flag football, because I never wanted a 300-pound person to lay on me.
It's not for me either.
So I played football, flag football. I played basketball most of my life. Got recruited D3 because I can shoot, but I am wonderfully 5'8". So I went to Marywood University, which is an hour south from here.
Some of my friends go there.
They do?
They love it, yeah.
So I went to Marywood, told the coach that I didn't, because I was coming off of a coach in high school I was not fond of. So I was like, I don't know. And then I got asked to fill in broadcasting, which started my career. And so I never played. And I went straight into my career.
That's awesome, though.
So, but yeah, I can still, just made a half-court shot a few days ago, so still doing my thing, I would like to hope. But basketball, I played a little bit of baseball, but most of it was basketball.
Awesome.
But I said to my parents, I'm like, I'm 5'8". I would have been a perfect height at soccer. I'm Italian and Hispanic. So it's in my blood. And I've coached it. But my parents, like, I looked at them and I go, why didn't anybody talk to me about soccer? But when I was growing up, it was basketball, football, baseball. Not a lot of families when I was a kid said soccer or lacrosse. But I just look at it now and I'm like, what type of soccer player would I have been?
Yeah, that is true. I wonder that too with other sports. I'm like, well, if I played that sport, would I liked it? Or, but
you never know. But I do like soccer now. All right, my question to you. Knowing your goalkeepers, if I came to a practice and I took 20 shots on goal, do I make one of them?
Honestly, no, especially if they're penalty kicks. Because Becca Kessler, her save percentage is like 60% and above. So
if it's me versus Becca, I'm going 0 for 20?
You might. I'm not going to lie.
Neil?
Maybe.
So should I come to practice?
Yeah.
Should I do it?
I think you should.
Okay.
I mean, she'll be up for it. She loves that stuff, so.
All right, Becca. Me versus you. Give me one. No. I'm not like that.
I don't know if she will.
I want to make it. I don't want you to give it to me.
So.
All right. Well, that's fine. Okay.
Depends also where you're shooting from.
Okay.
I think you should take 20 penalty kicks and see where that goes.
See where that takes me.
Yeah.
All right. 20 penalty kicks. Me versus Becca.
Yep.
Let it happen.
I think you're going 0 for 20.
Okay. All right. I like the positivity. Listen,
Sorry.
if
maybe one.
Okay.
Maybe one.
The thing is if I don't make one, it makes me feel good about the team. If I make one, I still feel good about the team, but I also feel good about myself.
About yourself too.
So my question back to you, Anna, or your question for me. You got another one.
Okay. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Oh man, I just went to Italy. and it was an 11-year promise with my dad. We finally went. I would live. So there's actually a Tortora, Italy. So to go to the place that is named, that is like my last name, was insane. There's a beach
so
in
cool.
Tortora, so I broadcasted from the beach. So that was fun. And then I climbed a mountain in Maddaloni, where my dad's family's from, outside of Naples.
Okay.
And first mountain I've ever climbed the mountain to the Stations of the Cross, following Jesus' steps all the way up to his cross, and then prayed
my
at the
God.
top of the mountain and got to look over the place where my family grew up.
That's awesome.
So I would live in Italy.
That like gives me chills. That's so cool.
I would live in Italy because you can eat pizza every day
Yes.
and lose weight
And
in Italy.
yeah, because it's actually good for you.
It's actually good, yeah, because it's all
Yep.
fresh and there's not all this garbage in it.
Yep.
My stomach, since I've come home, has like
oh gosh.
twisted.
I don't even. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's.
I think my body needs Italian food
Yeah.
from Italy.
There you go.
All right, I want to go with you on this. So Anna, I'm going to change it up a little bit travel-wise
Okay.
though. 3-part question. It's one of my oldies but goodies. So
Okay.
you got to go somewhere you've never been.
Okay.
You can take one celebrity, and you can take one person you know.
Okay. I could go anywhere.
Yeah.
The Bahamas. And I love the beach. I just want a tropical island to live at. Well, to go to. And I've never been there. The celebrity that I would take,
Yeah.
probably Levell, because I would want to train with her, first off. And I just think she's a great person from what I've seen
Okay.
to be with. And I feel like she's also, I don't know if you have seen, but she has a bulldog. I would ask her to take her bulldog with. So
For
we could,
protection?
we could have him. And the one person I would bring along that I know,
Yeah.
probably my mom.
Okay.
Because she's always wanted to go there, and yeah,
So you
she
bring
would love
Mom.
it too.
What's
Yep,
Mom's
I
first
would.
name?
Jodine.
Jodine?
Yes.
Jodine, you raised a good one.
Oh,
I'm going to say that.
yep, my
You're
best
fun.
friend.
So, your best friend.
Yes.
Shout out. Same for
She's
me,
awesome.
my mom. That's
Aw,
awesome. I
that's
love
so
that.
good.
Shout out to Jodine and my
Yep.
mom, Debbie.
I wish I could take you to the Bahamas, but
Someday
sorry.
she will.
Eventually,
She will.
I promise.
So, your last question for me.
Okay. If you could go back and change one decision, what would it be? For the better, or do you regret something?
I could be really funny about this.
Okay. Then
The comedic me was going to say something about a relationship, but I won't.
oh god.
So I would, no, honestly, I think if I go back and change, I mean, I don't live with regret.
Yes.
I think the one thing I would do is I would go back, bless you, I would go back in time and I would tell my younger self that outside noise belongs outside by definition, and that people's opinions of me mean absolutely
Yes,
nothing.
That's awesome.
Have nothing to do with God's thought of me. And so I actually posted, and I want to read it directly here.
Okay.
So the post that I had put up about this stuff that we're talking about, I shared something that somebody said. It says, "How do you sleep at night knowing people don't like you?" And it says, "With the fan on." So
I love that.
so I
That's
would say I'd
awesome.
go back to little me, and I would say, "Hey man, you're wasting way too much energy and brain cells on caring about people that genuinely never have your best interest at heart." So I'd
That's
say
great
that.
advice.
Yeah.
I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah. My final question for you is, we got Allie Yaeger in the queue right now.
Yes.
So my question for you, and my last one is, okay, what piece of advice?
Okay.
I always believe you can learn from somebody else.
Yes.
And I don't like the respect your elders. I think it's like respect people that do respectful things.
Yep.
So I want to learn from you today. Give me a piece of advice that you would like to share with me.
Okay. My advice is, I think that no matter what happens, obviously everything happens for a reason. But as hard as it is to trust that, I know sometimes something happens and you're like, oh my gosh, like why does that happen to me? Or like I might be the unluckiest person, but I think from me, I've tried to turn my attitude into thinking, oh my gosh, that happened to me. I'm lucky. Like I get that opportunity to also be stronger from it, but also to learn from it. Something terrible could happen to you, but it's also everything happens for a reason, and obviously that thing happened so that you can be stronger from it and learn and grow. But I think a lot of the times people look at that and get so down on themselves and then like get kind of in a funk, where I think more people need to, obviously if it's super upsetting, take your time, be upset about it, but then you need to realize that like this happened because I'm supposed to grow from it. Maybe it was a sign or something like that.
I love that.
Yes.
When something tough happens, when adversity strikes, thank God for the opportunity.
Yes.
How about
Absolutely.
that? With that being said, Anna Buckwalter and her team, led by Neil Bhattacharjee, has their 2025 season happening right now
Yes.
for women's soccer. Go and support them on the road and, of course, here
Absolutely.
at Binghamton University. And support your people that live amongst the cows
Yes.
and the nature
Oh
out there in
yeah,
Pennsylvania.
appreciate them.
So with that being said, we'll be back in this Binghamton Bearcat Takeover on site on location. We are ushering in the 2025-26 campaign for all sports, all students, coaches, and everybody here in the community. Wake Up Call in the Great Lakes Honda City Studios on the road at the Event Center at Binghamton. I'm going to give you a hug. You're
Yes,
awesome.
thank you so much
You,
for
Anna.
having me.
Appreciate you.
It's been
Make
awesome.
sure you go follow this wonderful team with Anna and everybody. And with all due respect, like I said before, Mom raised a good one.
Yes, she's awesome.
So we'll talk with you soon. Thanks,
Thank
Anna.
you for having me.
We'll be back right after this. Stay tuned.
Here's a message from Renee from Bryan's Landing, located on 6523 East Seneca Turnpike in Jamesville, New York. Open Tuesdays and Wednesdays for dinner, Thursday through Saturday for lunch and dinner, and Sundays for brunch.
It's a lot like the way that my mom and dad ran their restaurant. We have put in place a lot of people that are family to us, very similar to how my dad hired people that were family to him. And then the tradition I'm carrying on is a lot of the items that are on our menu are my dad's. And he taught our chefs how to recreate his dishes. So I think that Tommy McNerney, who our executive chef is, to him it is an art. And I think that when he does create a dish, it's not just about making the food taste delicious, what is definitely our priority, but it's an art to him, and it's almost like his canvas on a plate where he just wants the colors to look great, and people love it because he takes pride in that. And Bryan and I appreciate that. We want it to obviously look good and taste good. I will tell you, when we opened up, it was 6 weeks before COVID. And what was amazing was the community, our friends and family stepped up, and everybody did takeout. Everybody supported us. Our hearts were just so filled. So to Bryan and I, obviously our friends come all the time, and we just have repeat customers in Jamesville, and I think people going to our previous restaurant in Green Lakes are making the trip to come to Bryan's Landing to support us. And I mean, I think we have great food and a great atmosphere. So it's very, very important to us.
Head to Bryan's Landing, located on 6523 East Seneca Turnpike in Jamesville, New York, where memories have become recipes that are now meals to share with you. Tuesdays and Wednesdays for dinner, Thursday through Saturday for lunch and dinner, and on Sundays for brunch. And be sure to come out for live music Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Life gets busy, and sometimes that means us running around. So Canine Camp Dog Daycare offers you an opportunity to give your dog a place to stay while you take care of what you need to throughout the day. Canine Camp Dog Daycare is located on 228 Old Bridge Street in East Syracuse, New York. You can see it from the highway, and it's just off of Erie Boulevard across from BJ's Wholesale Club. Call 315-437-7110. That's 315-437-7110 to schedule an appointment to bring your dog in and tour the facility. Appointments are Monday through Thursday after 6:30, where you and your dog can see everything that Canine Camp Dog Daycare has to offer, including a self-serve dog wash and a retail store filled with all of your dog's wants and needs, including food, treats, harnesses, leashes, and more, making Canine Camp Dog Daycare your one-stop shop for your furry loving friend. Right, Lily?
End of April, beginning of May.
Where'd you go?
Rome. We went to a bunch of bars. And a welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, on site, on location at the Binghamton University Events Center here in this Bearcat takeover. I thought to myself, under promise, over deliver. Love talking with Binghamton University every week on Tuesdays. Bearcat Time is at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And I didn't have to be here, but I wanted to be here. When people say that you have to or you get to, I had the opportunity to come down here. I want to thank God that the traffic in Syracuse was not bad today. And I got right through like the bottlenecking area.
That's
so
excellent.
I'm happy to be here. Wanted to do a Bearcat takeover, not just for the student athletes and the coaches like Allie Yaeger, but to welcome back all the students, the faculty, and staff and administration as we celebrate 2025-26 with the Bearcats. So Allie, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing very well. Allie Yaeger, no stranger to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. She is your head volleyball coach, but this is the first time you and I have gotten to
We're
sit
live.
together.
Yes,
So,
together. Yes.
This is fun. Your energy is infectious.
Thank you.
We spoke off the air about Svet and how her energy is infectious.
Yes.
I do like something that you said, and I hope you don't mind me saying it or Svet hearing it, but you said, I don't know if I can ever get rid of her, and I don't think you should. I think it's a good problem to have.
Right.
Yeah.
She literally is one of my children. I have two boys at home, and she is like the third child. She always has been. I feel like I'm still getting things sent to my house that are for her, and she's in Germany right now. So I have to be like, what just came to my house for you? So it's a constant relationship, but an absolute wonderful relationship.
I think what you should do is like make sure her parents just continue to send those like food packages,
yeah,
right? The care packages.
Yes, and to my house, yes, absolutely.
Yeah, you'd be like, I would send it to you, Svet, but it's perishable.
Exactly.
So I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to keep it.
We got to dig into this now, yeah.
So speaking of digging in, this volleyball team 2025 season, it was very important to me that as we usher in the 2025-26 campaign for all sports here at Binghamton University in the Bearcat Takeover, that we had something with volleyball, because here we are jumping right in. So I know it never ends, but what is it like to fully be into the season?
Yeah, I mean, I can't believe how quick it got here. I feel like we were just hosting conference tournament in this building like yesterday. So it got here really quick. It's always exciting. We have lots of new faces this year. I feel like that's all I talk about with all my interviews is new players, new faces. We added 11 new players to this roster. In all my 20 plus years of coaching, I have never in my life had this many newcomers on a team. We have 9 freshmen, 2 transfers that are upperclassmen, and it's all so new. And our biggest thing this year is how quickly can we put this thing together. We have really great pieces. We have some really good returners. We have a lot of sophomores who didn't play a huge role last year but are getting asked to step up to the plate and play a huge role right away, right off the bat. So we're really young, but I mean, the unknown is terrifying, but it's also exciting at the same time.
Well, like you said, I mean, and the positive thing about this unknown is, like you said, it's the biggest class that you brought in. So that shows that, Binghamton has that name out there that's positive. You're doing something right. This team is doing something right. I love when I hear Olympic sports are thriving and there is a want to be somewhere. So first and foremost, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Because I think that's huge for
Yeah.
volleyball in general, to hear it as a sport.
Yeah.
And then also to hear it here at Binghamton. Why do you feel like there is such an influx? Is it just your infectious personality, or is it something else?
I mean, well, fun fact, let's start off with this. Volleyball, women's volleyball is the #1 most participated sport in America and the #1 growing sport in America. It is completely taking over, and I think it's great. It's great for us. It's great for ratings. We're actually on prime time for the Final Four in our championship game. It's no longer on like ESPNU. It's actually on like CBS and the big time stuff. So volleyball is it's fun. I think it's so exciting to watch. I mean, you can't really take a point off. You're watching, you're into it. Momentum is everything with volleyball, and it can just be so fun. But here at Binghamton, I mean, it's been so much fun the last 3 years, just coming in and creating the culture that I've wanted to build here and bringing in really top athletes. And over the last couple of years, we've had girls that play on their national teams. This year, she just came in late, Victoria, for us. Our Bulgarian, who is going to be huge for us in the next couple years. She was on the right side for us last year, but she played with the Bulgarian national team over the summer. She just came from World Championships in Indonesia, where they ended up taking 4th place. They actually beat Team USA on their way to that semis game, which is really cool. Yeah, and she played a huge part on that team this summer, so we're excited for her to bring that top level, high level volleyball into our program. And yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's fun. I love going to practice. I love these girls. They are my life. This program is my life. And it's so much fun to see what we've done in the last couple of years.
Yeah, and when you and I were talking, you came from the Big East.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that conference so well known, and then coming into the America East, what can you say about what you took from the Big East and what you have tried to kind of bring in here from that experience, because it is such a well-known, vibrant, I would like to say in all aspects of the word, physical conference.
Right, absolutely. You can't underestimate winning. I mean, being in the Big East, it was really tough because you play every year Marquette and Creighton, who have outstanding programs, outstanding coaching. It's tough to break into that top 2 of the Big East. And it was one of the main reasons that I left Seton Hall and to come to Binghamton, was because I refused to go through my entire career without winning a regular season championship. And it's just so hard to do in the Big East Conference, and the physicality that those teams bring in. And we had really good years there, really good years. We got an at-large bid in 2014, which was a fabulous season for us and those players. But I really wanted to win. And, the Big East is such a great conference. It's so many. There's so many teams in there. Just the slower pace is so great for me here. The travel of the Big East, the on planes every other week. If you're flying into Omaha, you're coming back, going to Providence because they're a travel part. It was so crazy, and being here is so much more. Sometimes we only have one match on the weekend, so preparation successful, and that's one of the biggest things that I feel like I've brought into this program is we need to make sure that we're prepared for every single match. Film, the girls know what's showing up on the other side of the net. So all the years of preparing my teams for big time competition has really helped, I think, us succeed here.
Well, and seeing this success, like you said, things can happen so quickly in a match. It's all about momentum. I have written about momentum, spoken about momentum, truly believe in momentum. I've played basketball and seen the momentum, yet there's still people that say that the word momentum and the essence of it does not exist in sports.
That's crazy. That's absolutely insane. It's tough once you break into the...
I agree. Wholeheartedly, I agree. To those crazy people, the flat earthers and the non-momentum people.
Give me a call. Let me talk to you about that.
100%. I do have to ask you this because it's something that's on my mind.
Yeah.
So, volleyball is volleyball.
Yeah.
But you play on a court, and then there's beach volleyball that's obviously playing with the element of the sand. It is easy for a human being to know that a flat surface versus playing in a surface that's got divots all over the place is going to affect you. But if you go out and you were to play today, would you prefer to go out onto the court and play, or do you want to play on the beach?
Court 100%.
Okay.
Beach is it's hard. It's a totally different sport in my opinion. I mean, it's all about ball control. You really have to train hard. It's a huge transition going from the volleyball court onto the sand court. And all of our players, with the transfer portal and everybody's COVID years that are now, being flushed out finally, but our players do have one extra year of eligibility if they want to play beach. That is granted to them if they want to. And I've had a couple players in my years that have done it and been really, really successful with it. But it is a possibility for them to go and play 1 year. They get 1 year.
Is it the other way around, that if you play 4 years of beach, you can play one indoor?
I don't think so.
So if
It's
you
a really
play,
good question.
So if you play volleyball on a court, D1 college, and you play 4 years of eligibility, you can have a beach fifth.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Learn something new every day.
I know. That's pretty awesome, though.
Yeah.
Do you think that and like you said, I mean, it's you got to be ready and you have to be physically prepared, but do you think that you can translate?
Yeah, for sure, you can. Liberos and setters are usually your best ones, 6 rotation outsides, because you have to have ball control. You can't not be able to pass the ball. There's only 2 of you on the beach court, floor, sand, whatever they call it. But yeah, there's only 2 of you, so you have a lot of space to take up with only 2 players. So your control has to be crazy. So like my best players that have gone and played beach are my liberos for the most part, who have always just had really good ball control, good platform. It's tough though. It's really hard. And a lot of girls, like when you're in the recruiting process, especially if you reach out to girls from California, they're like, I just want to play beach. I'm not interested in indoor. So some of them are dedicated to beach their whole life. Some like to just play it in the summers and then maybe do it after college. But it's hard. It's a really hard sport to play. It's totally different.
Well, and when you're coaching this sport, and you've coached it for so long, and obviously love playing it and coaching it, what can you say about kind of the footprint that you want Binghamton to have? Because you will go overseas, you will look for those players. Is this, I mean, do you feel like in order to be a good coach or a great coach in volleyball that you have to be worldly and you have to be willing to go anywhere? Or are there certain nooks and crannies that you like to go back to?
We're very lucky, I feel. My administration allows us to go over and spend the money and find the players, and we've been successful with them. It's one thing to go and then you're not successful. You have a whole team of international players, but you're not successful or they're not good enough. Yeah. But we've been crazy successful. We have great contacts, that we build our relationships with, that we really like working with. And I like the international. I like a 50-50 split on the team. I like half of them to be our international players. They're a different breed, the international kids are. They're very volley-centric. Volleyball is life for them, like 100% life. And that's how it is for me too. I love players that are a lot similar to me. One of the reasons me and Svet always got along so well is I felt like our personalities were just so close. But I love going the international route, and getting an American education for all the international players is such a big deal for them and their families, So the thing with the international players is you got to break them from convincing them that they want to go professional right away. Yeah. They want to sign professional contracts instead of coming over here and getting an education and playing in college. But I'm always like, let me prepare you for that. Let me, look at Svet, for example. She wanted to play professionally. If she would have just gone professional straight out of high school, she wouldn't be nearly where she is right now. So, and it's such a fun experience. I mean, who doesn't want to experience college and college life? And, you have a chance to win conference championships and be an all-region kid, be a player of the year, be an All-American like Svet was for 3 years. That's a fun experience rather than just going and playing professionally, and who knows how long that's going to last. It's not going to pay the bills for the rest of your life. And so that's always the challenge with the international players, is I get them to get a little interested and then really getting them to break over that line of, okay, yeah, I want to come and get an education instead of playing professionally.
Well, and I think, and I go back to this all the time, and I tell people that are in college, I was like, listen, there's only one time in your life you're going to open the door and everybody in this bubble, in this earth, is around the same age as you,
right,
experiencing similar things
Absolutely.
As you. So it's just a unique thing that prepares you, in my opinion, for life.
Yeah.
So being here at Binghamton, I think they're blessed to have you because you are so passionate.
Thank you.
And you have so much fun, and you're someone who works really hard, but you have a good time with the girls on the team.
Yeah.
So for you in these 3 years, what has Binghamton brought you, and how can you just kind of reflect on what it means to you to be here personally, to be at this school?
Yeah, I mean, so I was here back in 2005 and 6. It was my first job. I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
It's my first job out of college.
You did the full circle thing.
I did, yes. And so I've seen the Binghamton world at a very young age. And then I go, and I was in the Big East and had successful seasons there. And then everything in my being said this was where I had to be. This is the right spot. And after being here for 3 years now, I was 100% right. And I can't always say that about myself, like ever, actually. But I was. This is exactly where I'm meant to be right now in my life. I can feel it with everything that I have. It was a no-brainer. My administration is wonderful. I could not have done what I've done in the last 3 years without my administration being so supportive. And not a lot of schools have the support that they want to put aside for volleyball specifically, because a lot of schools have football and basketballs are, a main sport for them as well. But my administration, the community here has been so overwhelmingly amazing. I mean, I feel like I walk into restaurants and people are like, "Are you the volleyball coach?" I'm like, "I am." Like they know who we are, which is what I wanted. I want this community to be interested in volleyball and to bring their kids and to bring their girls, and I want my girls to be role models for this community and for future players coming up. I love it here. Like I said, I'm so close with all the coaches in this department too. Everybody's so supportive of each other, and I wouldn't want to be anyplace else right now.
I love it. Appreciate the energy. We're here from the event center with Allie Yaeger, the head volleyball coach here at Binghamton University, in our Bearcat takeover as Wake Up Call got on the road to be here with you to usher in the 2025-26 campaign and welcome you all back to campus here inside of the Travel Great Lakes Honda City Studios. It's time for rapid fire.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
You get to ask me the first question.
Let's see. What's your favorite ice cream? What's go-to for you? It doesn't have to be a flavor. If you don't want it to be a flavor, it can be like a sundae or something like that. What's your
chocolate
go-to?
chip cookie dough?
Yeah?
Sure, yeah.
God, it's so popular.
And so because I'll take the cookie dough pieces out and save them for the end. So I do that. But I mean, I'm an off the beaten path guy. I love cotton candy ice cream, bubble gum.
You and my youngest.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, great.
Yeah, give me that. How old is your youngest?
He's going to be 13.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I will always be a child at heart.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I like it.
Bubblegum ice cream.
I like it.
My question back to you.
Don't make me think too hard. You always make me think too hard.
So I have my own sundae in Syracuse.
Okay.
At Carvel, the Carvel DeWitt, the longest standing Carvel in the nation.
Wow.
Got a sundae there.
Okay.
If we made the Allie Yaeger sundae, what would be in it?
Okay. So recently, and this is shout out to my assistant who you met, Chris Weathers.
Yes.
Okay. So me and him.
I like Chris.
Me too. That's why I hired him. But
I love the wit. I got to have you on the show more.
We love peanut butter and jelly, and he kind of got me on this kick. So what we do when we go to these ice cream places, and it's really become like a staple for me and him, is we just kind of create our own, because it's not like you walk into these ice cream places and they're like, they have like a peanut butter and jelly sundae. So they're always going to have some type of either raspberry or strawberry topping, and they always have that peanut butter topping that I would bathe in if I could. so it a peanut butter and jelly sundae, which I think is a hidden gem that not a lot of people know exists, with vanilla ice cream, of course.
So I make my own peanut butter and jelly wings. I do.
Give me more on that.
So I get boneless. So I usually do it boneless. So I get the boneless chicken, and I'll lay it all out, and then I use Jif usually reduced fat peanut butter. Take that, and then strawberry, raspberry, whatever jelly you want, and then I put a little bit of Parmesan, a little bit of pepper, and I mix it all together, and then I roll the wings in it.
Okay.
And it's very simple, but it's really good. I also like peanut butter and jelly burgers. So when I'm down at Ford's Garage, they have a peanut butter bacon burger down in Florida at Ford's Garage, or wherever Ford's Garage is. I was asking for the raspberry side.
Yeah.
And I take the raspberry jam, put it on the bottom, the peanut butter's on the top.
Yeah.
Burgers in the middle.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
See, I knew we were separated at birth.
Well, my next question would be, what's your favorite thing to cook?
Oh, I love to cook. That's
yes. So what is it? You got to give me one of them.
Dang. Probably. Oh, there's so many different things I cook. I love to make like my own, like season my chicken or turkey or shrimp and make homemade tacos, and I can eat them all week.
Okay.
So I would just say, like, the Hispanic side of me, I'm going to say tacos.
Yeah.
Because then I could turn them into nachos. I could put anything I want.
I like that.
Yes, I'm going to say tacos.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because I can eat them every day.
Yeah.
My question back to you, Allie, since we're staying with food.
Okay.
If you had to describe yourself as a cereal, what cereal best describes you?
I am going to go with, I'm going to do like the Captain Crunch with the berries.
Okay.
Because you get best of both worlds. It can be real serious and straight at you with just the Captain Crunch, but then the berries add a little bit of spice in there.
Yeah.
You know, where you can have a little more of a personality, but like with my job, it's like there's a time that I got to be serious with the girls, you know what I mean? But then there's a time where I love talking to them, and I love my relationships and talking to them coming from class and just asking goofy stuff with them. So that's what I would say.
So you either get the captain in a serious conversation,
yes,
or you get the berries.
Yes,
for fun.
On both worlds. Yes.
All right, Captain
yes.
Crunch berries. I like it.
All right, well, let's stick on food.
All right, you got one
and
more.
And let's go with. I'm not a huge chain restaurant person, but okay, and not like fast food. Like let's like a sit down.
Okay.
What is your favorite chain restaurant if you could only eat at one for the rest of your life?
Texas Roadhouse.
Really?
Yeah.
That actually didn't surprise me. I feel like a lot of people might say that.
Texas Roadhouse because of the sweet bread and the honey butter.
Yeah.
You will not see me genuinely ever eat butter, use butter, but if I go to Texas Roadhouse,
you can eat your weight in that bread.
I will bathe in that. I will bathe in that. So, and there's one right across the street from Binghamton's campus.
There is.
So I'd be there in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
My question back to you, we're going to stick with food.
Okay. I like it.
So, you are on death row.
Okay.
I'm going to break you out, don't worry.
Okay. I appreciate that.
So as I am breaking through the wall, and using my connections to get you out of this prison.
What's your
last meal? And you can make it as many things as you want.
Oh my God. This is so hard because I
love how the camera zoomed in on me when I said I'd break you out of jail. It was like, let's get an ID on that face.
Oh my God, this is so hard. This is so hard. So, I would say, okay, for some people, they'd be like, this is gross. But for me, like, I love it, and I don't get it that much. I lived in Ohio. It's where I went to school, college. And have you ever heard of Skyline Chili? It's Cincinnati spaghetti.
Not Cincinnati spaghetti. But
it's called Skyline Chili. They also have like a gold
the place
star.
Is called Skyline Chili?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No.
And I mean, like, I love my own cooking like so much. However, I mean, they have, so it's called Cincinnati Chili style, and so it's like spaghetti noodles on the bottom. Then they have their own recipe. Hang with me. They put like cinnamon and a little bit of chocolate in it. Don't knock it till you try it.
I'm not.
Okay.
I put cinnamon in a pot roast before, and my parents will never let me live it down.
Okay. Did you like it?
I don't think anything's set long enough.
Okay.
But I feel like if I had planned it out better, it would have been better.
Okay. So it's spaghetti noodles like piled high. Then they put their Cincinnati chili on top, and then they take their own like shredded cheese and they put it on top. You got to look it up. It's like huge, and it just is a very specific taste. And everybody in Ohio, either they hate it or they absolutely love it. You'll never find somebody who's like, about it. And I don't get it that much. And I used to get it all the time in college, and now I'm like, oh. And they also have conies too, where you can get, like, they're really small, and they're a hot dog, and they do the same thing. And then you get like the chili and the cheese on top. one of my
Chocolate
favorite
and
things.
cinnamon. All right, I like it.
You got to try it next time.
Skyline Chili.
If you're ever in the Cincinnati area or Ohio, they have them all over Ohio.
Well, so I have been to Cincinnati. I have covered the Bearcats over the years. Went to Nippert Stadium, which I loved my time there.
Yeah.
So with that being said, Skyline Chili is how we're going to end this.
God, they should sponsor us
Yeah,
after
no,
this
they should.
big hype I just gave them.
Yeah, I think if you say it 3 times on my show, they owe me a sponsorship.
Yeah, exactly.
We've said it 5 at least.
I get part of that sponsorship. Me and you will split it.
Yeah, we're going to NIL this thing. And
Yes.
so whatever you give to me, I'm going to gift to the volleyball team, and
I love
Skyline
it.
Chili will double down and make sure that it goes to them for NIL. So,
I love it.
Allie Yaeger here, the head volleyball coach of Binghamton University. Come out and see her and the wonderful team right here, and of course, the positive energy here at Binghamton University. The Bearcat Takeover continues on Wake Up Call from the Event Center, Great Lakes Honda City Studios. We'll be back right after this. Allie, as always, every time you're on the show, I'm like, why was she not on last week?
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
We'll talk with you soon.
Avicoli's Restaurant, located on 7839 Oswego Road in Liverpool, New York, has been serving our community for decades. Your place to go for home cooking on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road is just minutes from Liverpool High School. And every single month, Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is on site, on location, with Liverpool sports, student athletes, coaches, and administration telling their stories throughout the year. We look forward to seeing you on site at Avicoli's for their casual pizza side, their fine dining, as well as their bar. And of course, you can order online at myavicolis.com. That's myavicollis.com. For takeout, delivery, and catering, call 315-622-5100. That's 315-622-5100. Come on into the neighborhood spot, Avicoli's, open 7 days a week in Liverpool, New York. K9 Campground Dog Boarding is your home away from home for your furry-loving friends. Open 7 days a week with drop-off and pickup times in the morning and later on in the day and early evening. K9 Campground Dog Boarding is the spot to trust with your dog for short and long-term stays. Call 315-299-4013 for more information. That's 315-299-4013, and go to k9campground.com as well. That's K9, ground.com, where you will find all of the information on their different cabins, which include the classic cabin, executive cabin, grand cabin, and luxury cabin. K9 Campground Dog Boarding, where your dog will have indoor and outdoor areas as well as their own private cabin for any size, any breed, as well as dogs with different needs. Dog parents and dogs alike choose K9 Campground Dog Boarding. Isn't that right, Lily? Looking for your next ride? Look no further than Great Lakes Honda City, located on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Serving our community for decades, their new and pre-owned vast array of vehicles are available to you Monday through Saturday on site. To search from home, shop at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Call 315-365-5576 to set up an appointment. That's 315-365-5576 for Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes. And a welcome back here to Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports truly meets that thing called life. We appreciate you being here and are very happy to be here for the Bearcat Takeover. We have been on site, on location, on campus here at Binghamton University, inside of the event center, as we have practice going on behind us. Lacrosse is out here training. I've seen men's basketball come through here. So many different sports going on. And of course, we have soccer sitting next to me in the men's soccer world. So very happy to have the opportunity to share this time with you all and to welcome you all back to campus for this 2025-26 campaign. So Alex, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Of course, man. Good to see you. So Alex is here with me from the men's soccer team here at Binghamton University, coming off of an opportunity you just had in the DMV. You're from the DMV.
Yep.
Share with everybody where you're from.
I'm from Leesburg, Virginia, so about 40 minutes outside of Washington, D.C. And yesterday we were at George Washington playing a game, so it was great having all the family and friends come out and watch. So yeah, great being home.
You said you're from Leesburg, Virginia.
Leesburg, Virginia, right?
I took the auto train
Okay.
when I was driving down. When I moved to Florida years ago, my dad and I we drove from Syracuse to Leesburg, took the auto train from Leesburg down to Orlando. So I will always know Leesburg, Virginia
Really?
because of the auto train, yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yes.
I had no idea.
Put your car right on the train, take all your stuff with you, yeah.
Interesting.
So scoring in front of your family around your home area, playing up against George Washington, what did that mean to you?
It was a great feeling. I mean, obviously the team didn't get the result we wanted, but scoring a goal in front of family and friends meant everything to me. And yeah, it was just a great experience being there, being around them, and being able to celebrate it with them. So yeah, it was a great experience.
Alex Balkey here with me this morning from Binghamton Men's Soccer. I know your head coach very well, Paul Marco.
Yeah.
If you had to describe Paul Marco in 3 words, what would you pick and why?
I would say he's a tough, caring, and supportive coach. He's tough in the way he makes us. His trainings are physically demanding, but they do help us prepare for games and help us prepare for the toughest moments that we would have to face.
Yeah.
And at the same time, he's also very caring and supportive to the team. So like, if you need anything, you go to him. He's always there to support you. So he's definitely a great role model as well as a coach.
I love hearing that, and I appreciate that. He is very cerebral, always thinking about stuff. And when we have conversations, they're so layered. What is it about his leadership style that made you feel like this was the right place to come and learn from him?
Yeah, I mean, his leadership style is different than any other coach I've been a part of. He's super demanding, super tough on you, but at the same time, you know he loves you at the end of the day. So you know he's going to get the most out of you. He's going to get the most out of his players, and that's really why Binghamton stuck out to me, and that's the main reason why I'm here today. It's because of him and the chances he provided me with here at Binghamton.
So, main reason why you're here, Paul Marco.
Probably Paul Marco, yeah. He's the main reason.
What other reasons made Binghamton the right fit for you?
I mean, obviously Binghamton's a great school, and I'm in the business program here, and SOM is one of the best schools in the country. And so being able to be a part of that is something that's pretty surreal. And yeah, the soccer environment, all the players when I came up on my visit were amazing to me. And it was just, I had a great vibe coming into it right away. So after I came up on campus, there was no second questions about where else to go.
How quickly did you commit after coming to campus?
Probably about a month after.
Okay.
So a month after coming, I came up in the summer of my junior year going into my senior year of high school, and then I committed right before my senior year.
So what did you do in that month's worth of time?
Evaluating other options, but at the same time, Binghamton was still always the number one, but there was always a case of, oh, this might jump out here, this might jump out here, so I had to evaluate all my options still, but yeah, Binghamton, after all said and done, Binghamton definitely stuck out as the number one option for me.
Why did, once you came to Binghamton and you visited, and then you had that month to make sure that you made a decision that was based in getting all your information that you possibly could, you said they always stayed number one throughout the process. Why?
Yeah. Because, like I mentioned, the academics, the soccer environment, the team culture, the coaching staff, so all of those things combined into one was really what made Binghamton stick out. And originally, like, something interesting about me, when I was looking at schools, I never had intended to come up north because I'm from Virginia, a southern state.
Yeah.
I wanted to stay in the warm environment. And then when Binghamton came out of nowhere, it kind of just stuck out. And all the qualities that Binghamton has with the soccer program and the academics, they just all really stuck out to me. And that's really what pushed my decision to come here over any of those southern schools that I was looking at.
Love it. So for you to come here and to have the opportunity at Binghamton to be a Division I student athlete, when you go all the way back to the beginning and you had dreams about this, do you remember when you first started playing soccer?
I do. I was 3 years old, and I just started kicking the ball around with my dad outside. And then I joined a rec team, and then from then on, soccer was just my thing, and I stuck with it ever since.
Are you the type of person that if you see a volleyball or a basketball, as long as it's a ball, do you kick it?
Yeah, 100%. 100% that's me. If there's a ball in front of me, I'm kicking it. I'm not picking it up, I'm kicking it.
So for you, like being 3 years old, like you said, and being out there with your dad and just kicking the ball, did he bring the ball outside and see if you liked it? Or was it just one of those things where you just found something in the garage and you're like, oh, let me see what this feels like?
It was, I think he did initiate the idea of soccer, but from the first day I started, I loved it. And I've never played another sport in my life. Soccer's been the only sport I've played. I've played a little bit of basketball, hockey for fun, but I never really took anything up seriously besides soccer.
Why'd you fall in love with soccer? You said it. This is the only sport that
right
you've
away,
ever played.
The first thing I ever did was kick a ball. Before picking up a ball, before doing anything else, it was kicking a ball. So I guess you could say maybe the connection between my foot and the ball kind of had something. I'm not sure, but soccer just always stuck with me.
Of all the positions that you've played, what can you say about your history of playing organized soccer? Do you have a favorite position, and what different positions did you play, or did you always play the same?
Yeah, so right now I'm a center midfielder, but that wasn't always the case. So when I was younger, I'm a left-footed player, so a lot of the time left footers are thrown out to left back or outside back because there aren't as many left-footed soccer players. So I started out playing left back like every other left footer, and then as I got older, I got more comfortable with both feet, so the coach started putting me in the midfield more.
Okay.
Because I could turn and go to my right side as well as my left. Whereas playing on the left side, you're kind of forced down the line more. So as I developed with both feet, I started playing more in the middle, and then ever since then, I've just stayed as a central midfielder.
And being a center mid, obviously you enjoy the scoring world.
Yep.
Do you have a favorite goal that you've ever scored?
Ooh. Yeah. On my senior night of high school soccer, Wayne Rooney, one of the best soccer players of all time, was actually in the crowd of that game. And I scored one of the best goals I've ever scored, in front of him. And
what was
that
the
was
goal?
just super. It was a free kick, and one of my teammates passed it back to me. I took a touch and just shot it upper 90, and it was just kind of a rocket upper 90, and that was a super surreal feeling.
In front of Wayne Rooney?
In front of Wayne Rooney, yeah.
Did he say anything?
He didn't, no. He didn't.
But he was there.
He was
and
there,
he saw
and
it.
he did talk to the team at halftime. He didn't say anything specifically about the goal, but yeah.
Do you remember what
there.
he said to you?
He gave us nothing specifically to me, but he gave our team a team talk at halftime. And it was a really generic talk, but just coming from him, it meant something special.
We're going to take a step aside with Alex Balkey really quick here. We'll be back right after this on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. Stay with us.
All right, sounds good.
In these unique times, there are those in our community that give us a sense of normalcy and positivity. Pizza Man on 50 Oswego Street in Baldwinsville has been here for you for over 35 years and is here now. Call 315-638-1234 or order online at pizzamanbville.com to bring those familiar tastes into your home. And remember to come see our monthly on-site broadcasts centered around the community and our Baldwinsville Bees. Pizza Man in Baldwinsville. Any way you slice it, they're always here for you.
Oh, yeah. That's fair.
Looking for your next ride? Look no further than Great Lakes Honda City, located on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Serving our community for decades, their new and pre-owned vast array of vehicles are available to you Monday through Saturday on site. To search from home, shop at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Call 315-365-5576 to set up an appointment. That's 315-365-5576 for Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes.
right, you need to come out here and get yourself the Brooklyn Pickle. I was talking about this with one of my buddies. I was like, yo, there's no better sandwich in the state of New York than the Brooklyn Pickle. And now that I found out that they're going down to North Carolina, we are taking over your taste buds everywhere you are, wherever you're gonna be. You need to get yourself out to the Brooklyn Pickle. Pinehurst, you just realized that you found yourself the best sandwich shop that you're ever gonna have. This is a glorious moment. It's a blessing to your community. You're welcome. Brooklyn in the house, baby. Go over to the Brooklyn Pickle. You already know what it is.
You heard the man. Head to Brooklyn Pickle Pinehurst on 1788 Old Morgantown Road in Southern Pines, North Carolina.
And we're back here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora inside of the Event Center at Binghamton University in this Bearcat takeover. And I am here with Alex Balkey of the Binghamton men's soccer squad, coming off of just having a match right by your home of Leesburg, Virginia.
Correct.
So happy to be here with you. And we were talking about the fact of having that favorite goal in front of Wayne Rooney. So as you look through your history and you look through your time, I'm sure there's a lot of things that you want to accomplish, but do you have anything when you go back to your room that's like a Post-it note or, you know, just put up on the wall, tacked up onto the wall, any goals that you have or something that you look at every day to remind yourself, like, this is my vision?
I don't have any specific goals written up, but I do have one thing up on my board, and it's to always be the hardest worker in the room no matter what. So whether that comes to school, soccer, anything, just be the hardest worker, and that's all you can control. Sometimes you're not going to have the best game. Sometimes you're not going to have the best performance on the test, but you can always control the amount of work you put in. So the amount of studying you put in, the amount of work you do off the field in order to be the best on the field. So that's kind of my mantra. It's like always be the hardest worker, and then good things will eventually come from that.
You know, they talk about that all the time, is it doesn't matter how talented you are, it matters how hard you're willing to work.
Exactly.
Where did you get that? If that's the only thing that you have up in your room, why did you choose it and where did you get it from?
So that's something that my parents have always instilled in me. I've always been a smaller player on the field. So in order to get the edge, I had to work hard. I had to do extra reps on on the technical side to get ahead of the other players. And I think that has just set me apart and kind of helped me get to this level that I'm at now, at the Division I level. It's from all that hard work, and I wouldn't be here without working hard. So I feel like that's the biggest thing that I kind of look up to and that I look forward to every morning, is working hard and being the hardest worker in whatever environment I'm in.
And you're obviously challenged in the classroom. Binghamton is one of the top 10 public Ivy League schools in America. So what major did you choose?
Accounting.
And what are your thoughts for the future? Working with numbers, what would you like to do?
I would like to work in a Big Four accounting firm. That's my goal.
Okay.
So, yeah, just plugging away at that now, trying to figure out internships. But that my goal would be to work in a Big Four accounting firm when I'm older, out of college.
Why accounting?
It's just, originally I came in doing finance, and I took an accounting class, and a lot of people don't like accounting or find it really boring, but for some reason I found it very interesting. So right after that class, I just decided to switch, and ever since then I've been doing it.
So jumping into accounting here and hoping to be a part of the Big Four, like you said, for the future, would you ever want to own your own business?
I would, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't want to stay in a Big Four forever, but
yeah,
eventually it would be super cool to own my own business. And I would love to stay in the soccer world as well, like run something in the soccer world. I feel like that would be really cool.
What would you want to do if you were working in the front office of a club? Where would you want to be anywhere in the world, and what would you want your role to be?
Anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
I would love to go back to Greece. I'm from Greece. I would love to go to Greece and be able to start something over there.
Okay.
Whether that be a training, like a big summer training camp, or a big class where I could train kids or start a club up. But I feel like just staying involved in the soccer world would mean everything to me. I would love to be in Greece, yeah.
You said that's your heritage.
That is my heritage, yep.
So Have you been there before?
I have.
Okay.
We try to go every other year.
Every other year?
Every other year.
Do you have family there?
We do, yeah, we have family.
So you said you're from Leesburg. Were you born here or were you born there?
I was born here in Leesburg, yeah.
Okay. But you've been going to Greece for a while.
Yeah, I think my first time actually going to Greece was when I wasn't even a month old.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I was over there quickly.
So
I have a lot of family.
What's your favorite thing about going out to Greece?
Obviously, it's seeing family, but the beaches there are second to none. So going there and being able to like go to the best beaches in the world is super special. Like for me, that's the most special thing, the beaches.
Favorite food from the Greek culture?
I like souvlaki, like chicken souvlaki.
Okay.
Yeah.
And to someone who doesn't know what that is, how would you describe it? I'm pretty confident I've had it, but
It's
share it.
kind of like a chicken wrap in a way.
Yeah.
So, but where you can add toppings on. So I like to add like tomato, cucumber, like Greek salad. So I'll put chicken, the bread, and then Greek salad inside of it. It's really good with the feta cheese.
I love it. And feta, I don't want anybody to talk to me about goat cheese. It's feta or it's nothing.
Exactly.
That's how I look at
Feta
it.
cheese is the best cheese, yeah.
So for you, before we jump into rapid fire and have some fun with that,
Okay.
to go into this season specifically, we've talked about growing up in soccer, 3 years old kicking a soccer ball.
Yep.
We've spoken about Greece and starting a club or doing something over there and have a camp. So as we bring it all back to today, what can you say about this 2025 roster, what you like about your teammates, and what you think about the season that's ahead of you?
Yeah, I think this year, in my opinion, I've been here for 3 years, and this is the best team we've had so far. So it's a special group of guys on and off the field. No egos in the team. Everybody's super welcoming to the new guys, and I feel like our team culture is just second to none right now. And I think that's going to help propel us through this season. And there's going to be a lot of ups and downs. We've kind of started on a little bit of a dip with 2 losses early on, but I think we have a special group of guys, and we're going to rebound. And I'm very excited for what's to come. It's going to be a good year.
Very excited to see what's going to happen with this Binghamton men's soccer team. A lot of respect for the student athletes as well as Coach Marco and the crew. Let's jump into rapid fire. You can ask me the first question. Any topic, any question. What do you got for me?
Ice cream. What's your favorite ice cream flavor?
That's so funny because Allie just talked to me about this.
Really?
So I'll switch it up and I'll give you a different one. So my favorite ice cream, if I had to choose something, I would probably say, it's hard for me to not go with it. I'd have to say cotton candy.
Cotton candy.
Yeah.
Interesting take.
Yeah, I like. You know what I do? I like the dipped when you go to the places and you get like vanilla or chocolate or a twist and you can dip it.
Dip it, yeah.
And you dip it in like the cotton candy or the blue raspberry or something like that. I like to shake it up. You can't have it every day.
Exactly.
But something different.
Yeah. Definitely a sweet one.
Yeah.
Definitely a sweet one.
My question back to you, Alex. If you turned yourself into a superhero today and you turned me into one and we were protecting Binghamton University, what hero would you be and what hero would I be and why?
I would be Batman. You'd be Spider-Man.
Did you know you just picked my favorite character? It's my favorite.
Oh, I just looked over and saw it right there, but
literally brought it with me today. Spider-Man and Venom. Yeah.
I would say Batman for me. I've always just loved Batman. I mean, he's just been super cool to me. Watching the movies when I was a kid.
Do you have a favorite Batman?
The Dark Knight.
So you like Christian Bale?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. And I would be Spider-Man because you saw it? Because
Spider-Man because I saw it and I know it's your favorite. No, because I don't know. I feel like Spider-Man can do everything. I don't know. I feel like Spider-Man can do everything, and this guy Dan right here can do everything. So, yeah.
Much appreciated. I think there's a lot of things I was just talking to Anna about if I took some shots on goal, how well would I do against these Binghamton goalkeepers? So we'll see if I can do it.
I don't know about how you do against Connor, but big man in goal right there. But yeah.
Well, we'll talk about that in 1 second. You got your next question for me.
It's the favorite movie you've watched in the past year. So not all time, but in the past year.
In the past year. Good question. I gotta say Fantastic Four: First Steps. because
Okay.
I wanted to see Galactus for like a very, very, very long time, and I thought Galactus was good. I thought the movie could have been a little bit better, but I thought Galactus was good.
I haven't seen it.
It's good. It's
Good.
worth seeing.
Should I watch it?
You should definitely
Yeah.
go see it. Best line I've heard from a movie of any genre in a long time. I herald his beginning. I herald your end. I herald Galactus. That like chills. So my
I
question
need
to you.
watch it.
So Connor is in goal,
Yep.
and I'm going to come out to practice.
Correct.
I'm going to take 20 shots.
Okay.
Do I make one of them?
Where are you shooting from?
Penalty kicks.
Yeah, you're making one of them.
I'm going to make one?
You're making. I say you make 3. I say you make 3.
Okay, Anna said I'm making none on their goalkeeper,
Ooh,
so you think I'm going to make 3. Okay.
I think you can make 3.
3 for 20.
3 for 20.
I'll
Yeah,
take
yeah,
it.
3 for 20.
Well, listen, we got to make it happen, Binghamton, because I have talked about it on the show. I'm a man of my word,
Yeah,
so
we
I
gotta
need
make
to
it.
have men's and women's soccer, and I get 20 shots for the women's side, 20 shots for the men's side. Let's see how I do.
Perfect.
It's going to happen?
It's gonna happen. Yep.
Connor, he thinks you'll get 17 of them.
I think Connor will save 17 of them. Correct.
Okay, all right. What's your last question for me?
If you were to be any celebrity for a day, who would it be?
So I switch bodies?
You switch bodies, and you can be anybody for a day.
Freaky Friday, I switch bodies with a celebrity. Levell Sanders, how about it? Look at that.
Levell
Now,
Sanders.
I would say, my goatee is an ode to Mr. Robert Downey Jr.
Okay.
So I'm gonna switch bodies with Tony Stark. I'm gonna go be Iron Man for a day. Why not?
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty
I
cool.
think it's about time I get a suit that I could fly around in. My question back to you, Alex, my final question for you. What, if there was a neon sign that was above you and it was flashing all the time, what would it say and why?
It would say go. Because that go flashing at me is like a cue for me to always push forward and like level up in a way. So I think if there was something to be flashing out in front of my face at all times, it would be the word go. Because I'm always trying to level up, always trying to push forward, always trying to become better at whatever I'm doing. So I think that would be the word that I would go for.
I love it. Simple word, go, big meaning.
Exactly.
For Alex Balkey here and myself, Dan Tortora, make sure you go out and support on the road and at home your Binghamton University men's soccer team. And, of course, a shout-out to the DMV on behalf of Alex here. Appreciate you, man. Look forward to talking to you soon.
Go
And
Bearcats.
Connor, guess what? We got to do it now.
Yeah, we're going to do it.
All right.
20 shots.
Sounds good to me. We'll be back right after this.
Thank you.
Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Carvel DeWitt, it's what happy tastes like. Do you know why? Because we make ice cream. Creamy, rich, flavorful ice cream. Not yogurt or iced milk like some of our competitors. Ice cream. Fresh, by hand, daily. For the calorie conscious, we have something new for you. Our new Carvelite. Same great flavor, creaminess, and texture of our regular ice cream with only 35 calories an ounce. So whether you want an ice cream cake, flying saucer, dasher, carvelange, hard or soft ice cream, we will satisfy your craving with our fresh, handmade regular or new Carvelite ice cream. Carvel DeWitt. It's what happy tastes like.
The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is located on 3680 Milton Avenue in the Home Depot Plaza. It is your family-friendly sports bar and restaurant. Folks, some sports bars aren't family-friendly. Some family-friendly restaurants are not sports bars. The Wildcat Sports Pub in Camillus, New York is proud to be both. It is that marriage that you've been looking for years. The Wildcat Sports Pub is your home base for your sports bar and restaurant needs, games for the kids, indoor and outdoor activities, and enough things on the menu to come back every single week and get to try something new. They're open Sundays from noon to 8 p.m., Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. to midnight. For reservations and party information, call 315-487-2222 for the Wildcat family-friendly sports pub and restaurant.
What's up, Kendall?
GG cards and breaks, like comments and subscribe.
GG Cards and Breaks, coming to you on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York, is your one-stop sports card and trading card shop. You will find everything that you can think of: hockey, soccer, baseball, basketball, football, Disney Lorcana, Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, and all the supplies you need to protect, travel with, and showcase your cards. What I'm really trying to tell you is you get to be a big kid at GG Cards and Breaks. See you there Tuesday through Saturday from 10 to 6, and on Sundays from 10 to 5 on 639 Delmar Place in Syracuse, New York. And, of course, many thanks to the newest Chick-fil-A in Central New York, Chick-fil-A DeWitt on Bridge and Erie. You will find them there for you in a giant brick building. They have a double drive-through, plenty of space inside, and the largest Chick-fil-A I have seen anywhere in the country. Shout out to Megan Sorber and her team, and for everybody coming out and supporting them as they opened here in early August. And I appreciate you going out there and welcoming them to our Central New York community. With that being said, we are inside of the event center. I decided, and Levell knows all about this, it's important to underpromise, overdeliver. And we met a long time ago. But when I came onto campus years ago, I walked over here and saw Levell literally right off to our side, and he said the words, "That's my guy Dan, that's the guy we're trying to work with." And now I'm sitting here in the event center in year number 2 of our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership between WakeUpCall and Binghamton University. So I want to thank the Bearcats, and I want to thank people like Levell who were with me from the beginning of the beginning and doing everything he can to help out. So I give him a lot of credit for why I'm sitting here, which is why we're ending the show with Mr. Levell Sanders, the head coach of the men's basketball team with Binghamton University. My friend, how are you?
I'm great. How you doing?
I'm doing very well. So Levell just had practice and got off the court here. You heard them in the background. I was telling him off the air, when I hear balls bouncing, it could be any gym, any team, 3-year-olds to guys have been playing forever, girls have been playing forever. If I see somebody in a gym, I want to be out on the court. I want to challenge you. I want to be there. It took everything for me to not go out on the court with your guys, but I knew you were practicing. So how'd practice go?
It was good. It was good. I think this time of year you're kind of limited with the time, so you try to get as much in as possible. We're trying not to be all over the place.
Yeah.
We're trying to focus on kind of our core and what we want to do. We want to play a little bit faster this year. We want to be aggressive defensively. So that's kind of what we're focusing on. It kind of gives you an opportunity to kind of get guys in shape. Kind of trying to get up and down and pressuring the ball and pushing the ball up the court fast.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what's been the main focus. We got a lot of new guys, so we're trying to get guys up to speed. With terminology. With how we want to do things offensively and defensively, trying to get guys to understand what they do really well, because a lot of times, players think they can do everything, but, trying to get guys to understand who they are as basketball players, and it's been good. I think our last 4 practices, 3 last week and then today, have been trending in the right direction.
And like you said, I mean, you're limited in how much you can practice. There's been a bunch of changes to NCAA rules. Some people might think there's not many anymore. Do you feel like we live in a world now with everything that's gone on with athletics that the NCAA should maybe stretch out that time you get to be with your guys?
You know what? The way the landscape is, and there's so many new players on the teams. I think so. I think that I don't understand. Why we at this point of the year you can only practice a certain amount of time. School has started. So when I was in school many moons ago, it was October 15th was the day, right? So the coaches didn't get any time. Now you get an opportunity to practice a little bit in the summer, and you come back and you start practicing. But yeah, I think we should be able to work with the guys as much as we need. I think we're at a place, and I think there's a lot of institutions where you're going to make sure the guys are in class and do what they need to do academically.
Yeah.
I don't even think there's a lot of schools that have in-person classes. We do, but I don't think there's a lot of schools that have in-person classes. So practice, you should be able to practice as much as you need.
Yeah, well, like you said, you brought up a good point. I mean, with the transfer portal and the things that could change literally all the time, it's incredibly important because you're essentially having a new team, half of a new team. I mean, you never know what it's going to look like. And when you're trying to build something before NIL and before the transfer portal, you still had guys that were trying to go 1 year and 2 years be done, not give all 4. And so with that already being a reality for basketball and college at Division I, then you add in NIL, you add in the transfer portal, it's hard to have somebody that you can build with for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. And so, I mean, I feel like the more time you want to put in, the better. And, you know, in the world we live in today, you might be bringing in, let's say you bring in 2 guys, but let's say that's your starting center and your starting point guard. Right? So, I mean, even though that's 2 new and not 7 new or 9 new, you're still bringing in guys that are going to have an immediate impact on the team. And, you know, if it's a floor general, I mean, it's like bringing in a quarterback. And would you tell a college football team that their quarterback can't practice with it a certain amount of time? So I definitely understand the point of it. And it's a lot to navigate, Levell, because you never know what's going to happen year to year with the transfer portal.
Yeah, I mean, every team is bringing in, probably minimum 6, new players.
Yeah.
And a lot of those players that they're bringing in, they're counting on them to be, impact players. And so, I think you need time. The only way you can actually build camaraderie and have guys have an opportunity to know each other and know how this one plays and know how this one plays and learn how, the coaches want to do things offensively, defensively. It's a lot, so when you bring in that, like I said, we brought in 9 new players this year, so, on a 14-man roster, that's way more than half, right? And so, again, you got all of these guys you have to get up to speed with, what you're doing. And then the other guys that we have returning are, probably, 1 or 2 years with us, right? Other than Evan, who's been here for 3 years, and Steph, who's been here for 3 years, but he hasn't played. So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot, and it's it's ever changing. It's changing. Daily. It's changing. By the time we have this interview, and you look around, it's going to be something else that's going to change. So
yeah,
you have to be, as a coach right now, you have to be able to adapt and not complain. You got to be able to adapt and just kind of make your way, because nobody cares when the ball goes up. November 3rd, nobody's going to care that you have 9 new players or whatever it is. Everybody wants results, right? So that's what we have to keep and keep the main thing.
We saw Binghamton years ago go through a bunch of adversity. Coming up in men's basketball last season, I believe, if I'm correct, it was the most wins Binghamton men's basketball has ever had in the season. I believe
I think since 2009.
Yeah, since 2009.
Yeah.
So it's been a minute. So what? 13, 14, or what was it? So we're looking at last season's 24-25 since 2009. So yeah, so we're talking about last 15 years that we've seen that many wins. What does that say about where the program is reaching to? I know you want to win a championship in the America East. I know you want to go to the NCAA tournament. I know the type of person that you are. But we're building something, and my whole point of what I was saying was this is something we haven't seen. Like when I was going to college, I graduated in 07 from Marywood, and so I never knew Binghamton to really have a lot of wins on the men's basketball side. And 2007, I graduate. You're talking about 2009, and now we're looking at 2025. You and your staff have brought something that I didn't see growing up, that I didn't witness. So where is Binghamton men's basketball? Where are we heading?
Yeah, I think we're heading in the right direction. Obviously as coaches, as a program, we want to keep getting better and better and better every year. And I told our guys, I don't think any team starts the season off and say, hey, we want to finish in 5th place or we want to finish in 4th place.
Yeah.
Everybody's starting the season off, with aspirations of trying to win a championship. And, there's only, out of the 9 teams, there's only 1 team in our league that does that every year. And so we want to put ourselves in a position where, we can be that team. We could be in the hunt, consistently every year. And that's our goal. That's our focus. We don't, we don't try to hide that. We want to put ourselves in a position where we can be a championship caliber program, right? And then, that's a lot of different ways you gotta do that. But I think we have a new president coming in, which that's going to be exciting. Our old president did a lot for us, did a lot for the athletic program, and so we're looking forward to to the new president coming in and see what she's going to be all about. But yeah, I mean, for us, it's just a matter of putting our heads down every day, doing the work. Nothing is going to happen for you if you don't put the work in. So we start with the work, and then we try to make sure our guys are, again, playing to their strengths. I think, I say this a lot as a professional. As a professional athlete, I thought, my job was to not let teams push me to my weaknesses. Everybody have weaknesses.
Yeah.
And so I tell our guys, our job is to be able to play to our strengths as much as possible. I think the teams and the organizations and the companies that can play towards their strengths and do the things that they're really good at, those are the organizations that become successful. So that's what we're trying to do, right? And you have to, again, it's work. You gotta you're working with new guys. You gotta have them understand, well, you're really good at this, and this you need to work on. So let's do this right here. And again, it's not always easy. Again, you got 9 new players, and you got to do that with 9 new players, right? So right now, I mean, it's college athletics is like nonstop. Like you finish the season and you don't even get a chance to breathe. You're recruiting. And then you gotta build a team, and you probably got 7 or 8 players that's gonna be leaving. So it's nonstop with what we're doing right now. But again, as I said earlier, the coaches and the programs that can adapt to it are the ones that are going to be successful.
How do you adapt? What do you think is, those ingredients to success to adapt to an ever-changing college model? And like you said, as we're sitting here right now, something could be changing in this moment. So what are the ingredients of a successful adaptation?
I think you have to understand that first thing you have to understand is that it's changing, constantly.
Yeah.
And you gotta try to stay on top of things. You have to be grounded in who you are and what you're about. Just because things are changing, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to, you have to make every change that's happening. You have to know where you at. You have to know the people that you're working for. You have to know what they want. What their expectations are. Just because something is a new trend, we are here at Binghamton University, we might not be going in that direction of that trend, right? So, it's knowing where you at, knowing who you're working for, and again, being, having that mindset of, I know things are changing. We gotta keep an eye on it, but also again knowing who we are as a program and. As an institution.
You and I think it's safe to say we're basketball purists. How do you stay?
You are, okay. I don't know if I'm a basketball purist.
No, I mean, let me say why I say purist.
Okay.
Because I think I'm not talking certain elements of the game, because obviously the game's changed. I'm saying pure in the sense of ball is ball, and we should be able to focus on it, and not all these ancillary, all the stuff that's going on with, like, how much money does this person make?
Right.
What about this with the transfer portal? Building a team, people thinking about me instead of we, transactional instead of relational. That's what I'm saying with purity.
Right.
So is it safe to say that we're pure in that sense?
Yep.
Okay. So in the purity of that, as a head coach, do you feel like you can still get out of ball what you used to get out of ball when you look at what matters to you and just the sport itself? Can you strip it all away, even though it exists, even though it's there? Can you strip it down, and can you just play ball and appreciate the sport, or are we losing the essence of basketball because of everything that's going on?
No, you know what? I think once you get on the court, you can play ball, and it's basketball, right? We always say it's basketball, right? But unfortunately, it's like once you're off the court, it's all of the things that are at the forefront, with everything being transactional. I'm so happy, and I wish I was coming up in this era where, guys are able to, make money off their name, image, and likeness, because I think it's long overdue. The one thing that I think is kind of messes things up is the transfer portal. Just having people able to leave whenever they want. I think that's the thing that is the hardest.
Yeah.
But again, it's like it's kind of one of those things where it's like coaches are able to leave. Administrators are able to leave. Professors are able to leave.
Yeah.
Like everybody are able to leave. And then you're gonna say the athletes aren't. And I always say, well, coaches and administrators, professionals, these we are still dealing with student athletes, and so I think there has to be some type of, some type of control of what's happening, because right now it's just wild, and again, once you get on the basketball court, there's some sense of normalcy because it's basketball, right? It's the orange thing, but even some of the agendas from some of the people are not the same. When I was I was playing in the 90s, right? It was so different. Like I can tell the team and the way we were, together. It was so different than what it is now. And again, that's not complaining. It's just making an observation.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so again, I think basketball is basketball once you get on the basketball court. But there's so many things that's around that makes it's so hard to just focus on the playing. Because then you gotta focus on the playing, and you gotta make sure that the guys understand it has to be this way or that way. And I think the biggest thing now for every coach is getting the team to be a team. That's the most important thing. You have to spend time on. We spent a lot more time this year on trying to get our guys to be together. And I think that's going to be every year going forward. You got to get the group that you have to become a team and want to play for each other, with each other, care for each other more than they do individually. So that's the most important thing right now.
How do you do it? How do you keep the team essence, the team culture? How, people say culture is a buzzword. I think a coach without culture isn't a coach. So how do you build a strong culture in today's climate?
Yeah, it's just constant communication. I think communication is the biggest thing, right? Like you get guys, when you're recruiting guys, you tell guys a lot of different things about how you want to do things and, the standards that you have in your program. And then, I was telling our coaches the other day, like, then it's up to us being accountable and responsible for, instilling that and talking about that every day. You got to do it through a lot of different examples, and the players are going to give you opportunities to enforce your culture.
Yeah.
And when that happens, you can't shy away from it, and you have to enforce whatever it is you need to.
Yeah.
And then I think you have a group of guys that can also help with that. I think whenever one thing that I talked to our returners about was like, man, this team is going to go how you guys allow it. Because as coaches, we're not around these guys that often. Like they're around their teammates way more than they are around the coaches, and so a strong culture is going to exist and function even when the coaches are not around. But again, it's just a matter of, again, whenever we have opportunities to enforce that culture, whatever it is, or those standards, we have to be willing to do that And again, it's something that I'm okay with. You know, I always tell our guys I don't have to, you know, MF and curse them out and all that, but I'm honest with our guys. I can talk to them just like this and be honest with them, and I think our coaches are the same way. So to me, that's just how you do it, you know. And if it's basketball, you know, it's about, you know, video and, you know, get holding the guys accountable. You know, if it's going to be shot quality, if it's going to be sharing the basketball, if it's going to be defensive ball screens, whatever it is, like when things are going right, you got to let guys know. When things are not going right, you got to let them know also.
Yeah. No, and I think it's very important to have an honest conversation and to make sure that, like, what you say in the beginning and you tell them who you are, that you back that up. You know, I tell people all the time, I said, no one's ever going to, like, a bad person is never going to say I'm a bad person. They're going to say I'm a good person. Everybody says I'm a good person, but it's who stays with it. When you are recruiting, and now it's not just recruiting freshmen, but you're recruiting transfers, when you're going through this world and you're trying to find the right people, the film is going to show you if they're a good basketball player. The film is going to show you if they have fundamentals. The film is going to show you if they're consistent. But the film is not going to show you, in many cases, is who they are as a person, their sportsmanship, how they are in the classroom, what they stand for, and if they essentially are who they say they are. How do you weed through all of the talent to find the talent that is also the quality person that you want?
Yeah, you know, all of those things kind of happen organically, you know, like obviously you have to talk to people, and, you know, I'm a landlord, right? I have a rental property, whatever, and, you know, you call and you try to check about your tenant, and it's happened to me, right? Like you want to get rid of a tenant, so when a landlord calls and says, hey, you know, how do they pay the rent on time? And you say, oh yeah, absolutely, they pay the rent on time, because you want to get them out of your place, right? So you got to do some more digging.
Yeah.
With us, you know, like for me, I like to communicate. So, you know, when I'm reaching out to kids and they're not getting back to me, or, you know, they're never available in this day and age when, you know, kids are always on the phone.
Yeah, when somebody tells you I didn't see the message.
Yeah, you know, those are signs.
Yeah.
You know, when you ask them to do things, and, you know, because, like, again, we're an academic institution, so we need your transcript. You know, we need, you know, your transcript from your high school. You know, we need, you know, whatever we need. You know, we need a lot of things, and so, you know, we need guys to communicate and be in contact and be prompt with things. So a lot of times, even during the recruiting process, you know, you get a chance to see those things, right? You get a chance to see that this kid is not communicating, this kid doesn't answer the phone. You know, I'm calling, and, you know, coach is calling you, and you can't go to a quiet place and talk. You know, so those are a lot of those things to me are red flags. You know, like we were a recruiting kid, and, you know, just couldn't get us this, he couldn't get us that. And I was telling the coach, I was like, you know what, I don't want to recruit this kid anymore, because if he can't do this right now, there's no way he's going to be able to keep up with demand when he comes here. Yeah. Because there's going to be a lot of things that he's going to have to do. So, you know, I think organically during the recruiting process, if you're a coach that, I'm not a coach that just calls a kid one time. You know, coaches give me the number, and I make sure I contact guys, you know, and I'm talking to them, because again, number one, I have to build a relationship with them.
Yeah.
And then also, you know, I like to talk to, you know, family members. You know, I like to talk to, you know, their parents, see what kind of parents they are. You know, see what kind of, how they like to do things, because again, a lot of those things are important. I know, like my two daughters, how they're being raised, right? They're respectful. You know, they're not going to be, you know, out here, you know, disrespecting anybody. You know, so they're going to be raised the right way. And so, you know, you get a chance to, during the recruiting process, talk to these kids, see these kids in a lot of different settings. You know, you go see them at their high schools when they're practicing and things. You see how they interact with people, and that's important. So that's how we do things. We talk to a lot of different people, because again, and everybody says it, and you know, it was so interesting watching the NCAA tournament or the conference tournaments last year, and when coaches were losing and they were, you know, interviews, the one thing that I heard from a lot of coaches was that hey, we gotta get this process. We gotta get this process done better. You know, we gotta get the right kids in here. You know, because a lot of times, you know, coaches are just looking at stats.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not a stat guy. You know, a lot of the guys that we bring here don't have great stats. You know, so it's not, for us, it's not about stats. It's about being able to watch a kid play. Like, I have to watch games. I tell people this all the time. Like, you know, if we're recruiting, you got 4 or 5 coaches that are, you know, looking at players, and then you got 4 or 5 coaches that's giving you 2 or 3 players. Well, I have to actually sit and watch those players. Yeah. I'm not one of the coaches that's going to sit and watch the highlights and say, oh, you know what, we're going to take him. You know, I have to actually go out and sit and watch. So it's real time consuming that you have to. There's a lot of you know. One of my good friends, Ratko, he's a custodian here. He always, you know, he sends me a message, he texts me, and I'm always sending him a picture, and I'm always watching video. You know, like yesterday I was in here, you know, Sunday I was in here watching video, and he was like, man, I'm gonna tell your wife, because my family's over in Europe right now, right? So they're not here. And so he's like, I'm gonna tell your wife, you know, you're on a Sunday, you're watching video. It's like, well, that's my job. That's what I have to do, right? Like, as coaches, we don't have a 9 to 5 hours, right? Like, we're doing this, you know, around the clock. And so, you know, you have to put the time into everything. If it's video, if it's recruiting, you have to put the time in. You have to get an opportunity to know the players that you're trying to recruit, because, again, you know, you're not going to have them for 4 years anymore, but they're going to come into your program, and you're going to want them to, you know, make an impact. And if they're not prepared or ready for that, then you can't do it. And I'm not one of those coaches that say, well, just because a kid is going to leave after a year, I'm not going to build a relationship with him. You know, that makes no sense. Yeah. You know, we still want these guys to be successful while they're here. And then most of the guys, even if we have guys that are leaving, you know, I still reach out to guys and talk to guys, because to me, again, it wasn't a transaction. You know, like, a guy was here for a year or 2 or whatever it is, we built a relationship. Yeah. And everybody that comes through our program, like, I have a relationship with them. So, you know, I was over in Europe, and Taimu Shinnery, who's over in Denmark right now, you know, we were over there at the same time, and he called me, he coached, this is my first practice. You know, I was talking to MON-FRI, you know, over the weekend. You know, so all of these guys we have relationships with. Chris Hinkson, who was here, you know, years ago, you know, we still talk. So yeah, it's about relationships, and it's still about relationships. You know, I'm not one of those guys that, again, just because, you know, you think a guy is going to come here and be here for a year, you know, I'm not going to build a relationship. You know, we have to.
No, and I think it's incredibly important, and I respect it, and I appreciate it. I'm not surprised, you know, with this coming from you. I do definitely. I mean, when you look at everything that you were just talking about and building with people, I mean, I had said this earlier on today's show, if you seek to help other people and you care about other people, you send a ripple effect through the world, and after you're gone from the world, that ripple effect stays. If you just help yourself and it's me and it's transactional, you die like you were never here.
Right.
So to me, there's a lot to that, and there's a lot of importance to that. And, you know, I mean, you watching film.
But not to cut you off,
no,
but
you're good.
I think it goes back to also what you said something earlier about, like, when we're recruiting, you know, or just in general, like, I don't ever have to worry about remembering what I said, right? Because I'm just like blowing smoke, you know? Yeah. I say this all the time with the coaches. Like, if you're honest with people and you tell the truth, then everything is going to work itself out, you know? But even, like, you know, even in relationships, right? You have a girlfriend or whatever, and, you know, you got a girlfriend on the side, or, you know, you mess with somebody on the side, and, you know, you forgot, you told her you were going to go here, or you did this, or you do that, and now you got to remember those lies, and you're quoting these lies all the time.
They said a little lie is not a little lie, because you got to lie to cover the lie later on, and you got to keep lying just to make sure that it stays. Where, like, I'm like you, I wake up in the morning, whatever I said yesterday, I meant it.
Right.
So I'm not sitting here thinking, like, okay, well, I'm talking to this person, I got to be like this, and with that person, it's got to be like, I know people that change the way they speak. Like, I know when you're more comfortable around people, you can like be more whatever. Right. I'm not saying that, but I'm talking about, like, I've been around people that are like, "Hi, how are you today?" And then when they're around someone else, they're like, "Yo, my man, this is what I'm doing and this." And I'm like, "Stop!" I said, I said, when you're around this guy, you're notorious. When you're around this guy, you're Pee Wee Herman. Like, it's very strange to me.
Right. I mean, yeah, you have people like that, out there.
Yeah.
It's hard for me. I tell our players this. I tell people in our program, it's easy to be you, right? Like, I want guys to come here and be who they are.
Yeah.
Because it's easy to be that. It's hard to be. I can be somebody for a couple hours a day, but then eventually you're gonna go back to who you are, being who you are. Right?
Everybody breaks character.
Yeah. So it's much better to just be who you are, and not try to. I am who I am around anybody. I'm not gonna change and be, around you a certain way, and then I'm gonna be around, the president a certain way. I'm gonna be who I am, right? Because I think that's the most important thing, and that's who I can be all the time, my authentic self, right? And that's what we're trying to get these guys in our program to be the best version of themselves.
Yeah.
You don't have to try to be anybody else. Even as a basketball player, like, just be who you are. Like, if you're a really good three-point shooter, be a really good three-point shooter. If you're a really good rebounder, be that. But if you can't shoot threes, then don't shoot threes. Like, just be who you are. Like, it's as simple as that.
Yeah, no, I love it. And I know we're going to get into rapid fire in a second here with Levell Sanders, the head coach of the men's basketball program here at Binghamton University. And we have had this Bearcat takeover, under promise, over deliver. And I just reached out to Binghamton. I said, hey, why not usher in the season for everybody, 2025-26, and be on campus at the event center? And it means a lot to me to say that right here, Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, we are on site, on location at Binghamton University at the event center. And of course, many thanks to everybody that helped put this together. You're coming up to my hometown on Monday, November 3rd. The time isn't set yet. Hopefully it won't be 9. Hopefully it'll be like 7. So, or you do like a dinner time, 5:30. How about it? But we're looking at you coming up to play Syracuse, and you'll be in the Dome. I think Syracuse should come down to Binghamton to this event center sometime. It's just my thought. My hometown, I can say what I want to say. But I am happy that you're coming up on November 3rd. Just what you could say to that. I mean, Binghamton's come up in the past. I think it should happen every year, but I'd love to get your thoughts.
Yeah, you know what I think is great for for us. I don't know how good it is for Syracuse, right? It's just another game for them. But I think for us and our program and our fans, Syracuse is the biggest program in this area, right? Like, in terms of university, rich tradition. I grew up watching Syracuse basketball. I played against Syracuse. Last time I played in the Dome, we won. So hopefully that continues. But yeah, no, I mean, you walk around here, you go into the different stores, you see Syracuse stuff all over the place. There's a lot of people, here. I know Matt Lane, who works here. We when I first got here, he was talking about Syracuse all the time, running down a bunch of, he's been a Syracuse fan for a long time, and he's been to a bunch of games.
Yeah.
So I think, again, for our fans, it's good. Unfortunately, our women are playing on the same day, so. Hopefully we can still get, some people going to the game. Obviously, we want people to come and support our women's team. But, I think it'll be a great opportunity for us to go and play against Syracuse, an ACC school. This is hard for me to say because I'm so used to them being in the Big East.
Yeah.
But
when they do the Big East memories at the Garden during the Big East tournament, they still show Syracuse.
Yeah. But it's a big time opportunity, I mean, it's great to be able to, for our guys to be able to play in a Dome. It's great for fans that's going to go and be in that atmosphere. Hopefully we can give them a good game. I know they got a really good team this year. I've been checking out some of the things that they're doing. I know Coach Autry, from the New York City days. He's a little bit older than me, but I watched him coming up. I watched him play when I was a kid. I know Coach Griffin. We're from the same neighborhood in Brooklyn. So I'm looking forward to it. I know the players are looking forward to it. I think the people in our, like I said, I know our fan base is looking forward to it also.
Do you know Alan Griffin's nickname? You know what Blackwell calls him?
What's that?
Milk Dud. You know that? He calls him Milk Dud and he calls Ryan Snackwell.
Okay.
Because I've known them both for a very long time.
Right.
But so
Yeah.
Griffin, you were from the same area?
Yeah, from the same area in Brooklyn.
Okay.
He's a little younger than me, but I remember him coming up. He was a big time player. When we both played for Brooklyn USA for a little bit with Coach Tip and Coach Ziggy. So I know Al for a long time.
Yeah, no, Griff's fun, and so is this gentleman right here. We're going to play some rapid fire, so I'm going to let you go with it first. What is your first question for me?
My first question for you, and I'm not prepared today, so I'm gonna wing this.
Okay.
My first question for you: if you were president of the United States,
okay,
what would be the first thing you would like to see done, change, done differently if you're the president of the United States?
It's funny that you asked this question because I've literally asked this question before. So if I was president of the United States, what is the first thing that I would like to see done differently?
Or not even done differently, just something you would do. Yeah, one of the first things you would do.
I would highly consider speaking to the officials of the state of New York for their horrible road planning, construction, taxes that separate upstate from New York City because we vote different, we live different, our taxes probably get cut in half. No, what I would really do, all jokes aside, but I do think the roads need to be better. What I would do if I was president of the United States is I would step to the podium and I would say, this world exists because of God. If you believe that, great. If you don't, I guess you'll get to know him when you're done with this earth. But I would say this world exists because of God. We exist because of God. We are not as different as we think we are. And the best thing that I could say to each of you as I stand here today is the more that we distance ourselves because of color, because of religion, because of nationality, because of language, because of height, weight, whatever we want to do, a house divided amongst itself cannot stand. So I will do everything in my power to show this world that America is not the best. There is no best. We are supposed to be together. We're supposed to work together. We're supposed to love each other and pay it forward. And so I will do everything in my power while I am your president to find a way to help you feel safer, more respected, more seen, more understood. And there is absolutely nobody that either looks like me or doesn't look like me that's going to be treated any differently while I take this office. That's what I would say. If we're not treating each other as equals, then we've done it wrong before we even got started. Mm-hmm. My question back to you is, if you were my vice president, what, as you are my right-hand person and you're sitting in my cabinet, what would you say to me about something we had to get done in 4 years?
Something we had to get done in 4 years?
Yeah.
You know, I'm a people person, and so I would say the homelessness and the poverty. Like, I think that, you know, the greatest country in the world, we have to be able to, you know, at some point, you know, help out with, you know, the poverty and the homelessness that goes on in our country. You know, I think it's, you know, you walk around and you see, you know, here in Binghamton, you know, it's you know, it's bad, you know. So that would be one thing that I think that we would have to try to tackle while we're in office.
And I already have a plan for that. Some things I thought about. There's uninhabited buildings in my hometown, and I feel like we could take all this money that we're spending everywhere and changing all the highways at the same time. Why not take some of that money, put it into these buildings that are already pre-existing, get them ready, renovate them inside, and have housing within them to get people off the streets. And so have housing within some of these buildings, have a cafeteria for them to eat, and then have offices so that they can talk with people that will help them through therapy and also help them with job placement.
Absolutely.
What's your next question for me?
What is one of the things you're really looking forward to in the college basketball season this year?
Oh, man. Hopefully being on site for the NCAA tournament. Love doing that. I would say, what do I look forward to? I want to get back to David beating Goliath, man. I mean, this last basketball season was kind of boring. When we got to the end, you know, there was, with all this stuff with the transfer portal and, you know, diamonds in the rough moving to places and getting, you know, bought here, bought that. And I'm not saying everybody moves because of that, but I'm just saying, like, if you got somebody at Wofford and, you know, Florida wants them, and that happens, then Wofford's not beating Florida. So I want to get back to having the tournament being what it is. March Madness was a little bit sad this year. It was not as mad as it should be. So I want to get back to 11 seeds beating 6 seeds, 12s beating 5s, 13s beating 4s, and let's have some fun. My question back to you is, if the team's hype, music's on, y'all are feeling it, it's after practice, and there's like a ringleader, right? There's somebody, everybody's in the circle, and there's somebody who leads the dance on the team, and they say, "All right, Levell, you got it." What type of dance is Levell Sanders doing, and what song are we playing?
Man, what kind of dance?
Yeah. What you got for me?
I'm not a dancer, so I don't know. I would do whatever comes to mind, which is probably something crazy.
Okay.
Offbeat. Okay. But yeah, I don't know. What song?
What song?
What song? Man. What's a party song? I don't even know. I'm
gonna say "Yeah" by Usher, Lil Jon, and
yeah.
Ludacris. That's not a bad.
Yeah, we can put that on.
I listened to that on the way down here to get myself
hyped
for today. So.
Yeah, that's okay. That's not bad.
All right. What's your last question for me?
I think I asked you this already. Give me one of your favorite restaurants in this area.
In this area. So I've been told about a couple places I need to go to. So I know Nurchi's. There's one diner that I absolutely love. You asked me the name of it, and I can't think of it, but I love the diner. And my ex's grandpa used to bring me there, but I like to think that when we broke up, I won because I still got him. So Grandpa Bill up in heaven, I miss you, Bill Davies. My best to you. And Binghamton means a lot to him, so I like to think that hopefully I'm making him proud or helping him to look kindly on the fact that I'm working with Binghamton. But yeah, so I would say probably that diner. Mm-hmm. I wish I could remember its name. And then I was told that there's like a good Mexican spot, so I'm trying to find out.
Mexican spot?
What's up? Yeah, one of the student athletes told me there's a place for me to go, so yeah. I gotta dig in there and see because I haven't been there yet.
Okay.
So, my question back to you, Levell. All right. Did I ask you a hero question before superhero? I don't think I did.
I don't think so.
So you're gonna transform into a superhero right now, and so am I. What hero do you become? What hero do you choose for me? And what city do we protect?
I can't be the whole superhero because it was like 5 of them, but one that I really liked as a kid coming up was Voltron.
Okay.
So I would say.
So the assembly of Voltron.
Yeah. I would say Voltron.
Okay.
You would be He-Man.
Okay.
And was it Battle Cat? Was the cat Battle Cat? And the city we're gonna protect? You said in New York City. You know, the hometown.
Yeah. And like I say now, Gotham City used to be a dangerous, darker take on New York City. Now I think Gotham City's a walk in a park for what New York City has become. So we need to I think we need to protect New York right now.
Yeah, I'm all for that.
Yeah, definitely looks like The Walking Dead right now. So we need to help y'all out.
Nah, I mean, listen, when you go to, I'm from Brooklyn. When you go to Brooklyn, you go downtown Brooklyn looks way different from when I was growing up.
I've stayed in Brooklyn before.
I mean, Brooklyn is beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, so.
There's people that like the old, hard Brooklyn. They're like, man,
there's still some parts.
They're like, I hate the fact that it's all safe and coffee shops down. They want that rugged.
There's still some parts now, you know.
I walked down a part of Brooklyn. I got off the wrong exit on Subway, and I was talking to my dad. It was 1 o'clock in the morning. I got all my gear with me and everything. I was coming from the Big East tournament, actually, and I'm walking around, and my dad's like, did you find the hotel yet? I'm like, no, I'm still. And I was trying to find on my GPS. And I walked by this one area, I walked by another area, just people standing outside in the middle of the night for no reason.
Right.
And I was like, okay, please don't talk to me. And then I got back to the room. My dad goes, is the door shut? I said, yep. He said, is it locked? I said, yeah. He said, how about from here on out we take an Uber, we stop messing with the subway at 1 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, I mean, Brooklyn's got some good food. There's some good food in Brooklyn.
Oh, yeah.
So that's where my grandmother's from, my dad's mom. Elle's from the BK. Yeah.
Ah, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we're going to go protect New York City.
Yep.
How about that?
Yep.
So with that being said, Levell Sanders, myself, Dan Tortora, we appreciate you all for being here with us. Please go support the Binghamton men's basketball team on the road and at home. They'll see you up at the Dome on November 3rd. They're right here at the Event Center all throughout the season. And in 2026, we're going to see a little reimagining of this Event Center and some things happening here with the $10 million that will go into this area. So this has been the Bearcat Takeover. Show felt like it was 5 minutes. We've given you pretty much 3 hours this morning on the broadcast. Thank you so much for being here. I'll wrap it up after this fast break, but not before I say thank you to one of the people that's been in my corner for more years than I can even remember at this point, Mr. Sanders. Levell, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
We'll talk with you all soon, and our Bearcat Takeover will be back right after this.
Avicoli's Restaurant, located on 7839 Oswego Road in Liverpool, New York, has been serving our community for decades. Your place to go for home cooking on the corner of Route 57 and Wetzel Road is just minutes from Liverpool High School. And every single month, Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora is on site, on location, with Liverpool sports, student athletes, coaches, and administration telling their stories throughout the year. We look forward to seeing you on site at Avicoli's for their casual pizza side, their fine dining, as well as their bar. And of course, you can order online at myavicolis.com. That's myavicollis.com. For takeout, delivery, and catering, call 315-622-5100. That's 315-622-5100. Come on into the neighborhood spot Avicoli's, open 7 days a week in Liverpool, New York. K9 Campground Dog Boarding is your home away from home for your furry-loving friends. Open 7 days a week with drop-off and pickup times in the morning and later on in the day and early evening. K9 Campground Dog Boarding is the spot to trust with your dog for short and long-term stays. Call 315-299-4013 for more information. That's 315-299-4013, and go to k9campground.com as well. That's KAMP ground.com, where you will find all of the information on their different cabins, which include the classic cabin, executive cabin, grand cabin, and luxury cabin. K9 Campground Dog Boarding, where your dog will have indoor and outdoor areas as well as their own private cabin for any size, any breed, as well as dogs with different needs. Dog parents and dogs alike choose K9 Campground Dog Boarding. Isn't that right, Lily? Looking for your next ride? Look no further than Great Lakes Honda City, located on 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Serving our community for decades, their new and pre-owned vast array of vehicles are available to you Monday through Saturday on site. To search from home, shop at GreatLakesHondaCity.com. Call 315-365-5576 to set up an appointment. That's 315-365-5576 for Great Lakes Honda City, 7140 Henry Clay Boulevard in Liverpool, New York. Great cars, great people, Great Lakes.
And welcome back here to Wake Up Call on site, on location in our travel Great Lakes Honda City studios. I am here for this Bearcat takeover and wanted to do this for Binghamton University. I'm honored and I'm privileged to be working with them. We are in year 2 of our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership, and it has been everything that I hope for and so much more, and that's thanks to the student athletes, it's thanks to the coaches, to the administration, and to everybody that's been a part of this. So I'm proud to wear the B, and I'm proud to be here with this wonderful opportunity that we've had to partner over the years, and I'd like to think we're just getting started. Having this event center behind me has been the perfect backdrop, and God is great. So I want to thank you for being with us here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, here on youtube.com/WakeUpCallDT, Facebook.com/WakeUpCallDT, and on WakeUpCallDT.podbean.com, Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time and beyond. And being with us on Amazon Music, Audible, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts, Player FM, Podbean, Podchaser.com, Podvine, Spotify, TuneIn, and YouTube. All you have to do is search Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, or one word, Wake Up Call DT. And many thanks to the Brooklyn Pickle and our North Carolinian listeners and viewers down in Southern Pines on 1788 Old Morganton Road in Southern Pines, North Carolina, down the road from Pinehurst Golf Course, and our wonderful team of partners that is about to grow on September 1st to add not 1, not 2, but 3 new wonderful companies that I get to announce on September 1st on Labor Day. So make sure you look out for that a week from today, hard to believe. And our team of partners in Central and Upstate New York, Great Lakes Honda City, Carvel DeWitt, the Wildcat Sports Pub, GG Cards and Breaks, Chick-fil-A Cicero, Pizza Man, Canine Camp Dog Daycare, Brian's Landing, Mother's Cupboard, MON-FRI, the snack capital of the world, Canine Campground Dog Boarding, Chick-fil-A DeWitt, Avicoli's, and we are the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of your Bryan and Stratton Bobcats of Syracuse. The Bobcat Buzz coming to you every single month with student athletes, coaches, administration, and alumni. You'll find the Bobcats on youtube.com/WakeUpCallDT. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell, and find our BSC Syracuse playlist. You'll also find the Bobcats on WakeUpCallDT.com's homepage and underneath the exclusive partners tab. For more information, go to syracuse.bscbobcats.com and go Bobcats. Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, of course, is the exclusive multimedia marketing partner of your Binghamton University Bearcats. You will have them with us every Tuesday during Bearcat Time. Came to you a day earlier this week to do the Bearcat Takeover, but you will find the Bearcats Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, weekly on Wake Up Call. Student athletes, coaches, administration, and alumni joining me to speak on the wonderful stories that make up the Bearcat family. You can also find the Bearcats on WakeUpCallDT.com's homepage and underneath the exclusive partners tab. For more information, go to BinghamtonBearcats.com and go Bearcats. I want to thank you for being a part of the show today. I cannot believe that it's over. I'm not surprised, because time does fly when you're hopefully living out your dreams that God has put in my head and my heart a long time ago. So with that being said, I thank you for being with us inside of the Great Lakes Honda City studios. Find us on Facebook at WakeUpCallDT, X at CallDT, and Instagram at WakeUpCall_DT. For this Bearcat opportunity, this Bearcat takeover at Binghamton University, for celebrating with these Bearcats, and for having the chance to do this all from the event center. I love the fact that I said Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora live from the event center at Binghamton University. Just saying those words means a lot to me. So thank you to God. Thank you to all of you. Thanks for being a part of the show, and have a wonderful day. From the Great Lakes Honda City studios, we say God bless, no stress, do your best, and go Bearcats.